Hello, everyone, and welcome to Swindler's Den and the return of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. We're back. It's been a month of toiling away in the cold, much like we have done in this campaign, but in real life. Um, so thank you for joining us tonight. A few things I want to get out of the way before we get started, and I'm going to do a quick recap of the whole thing quickly, just to catch everybody back up. But just remember to follow us all at our social medias. Swindler's Den. Want to follow YouTube, the Patreon, where we do audio-only versions, as well as other exclusives for just $1 a month. And we don't use them as often, but Twitter, Instagram as well. If you want to collect all the social medias, they're all there for you. Also, we haven't done a show since this happened, I believe, but because Amoris ended, they released some special merchandise, and I am covered in it. So, if you would like to get the Let's Make Stories Together clothing, there is a link down below the stream currently for that. I'm wearing the hat and the shirt, so let's keep making stories together, kids. And I believe that's everything I need to announce. But keep your eyes peeled because we have things coming up. So if you're following those social medias, you'll be up to date on that. As well as be sure to watch our show on Sundays. Lost Song of Fandover. It's crazy over there, let me tell you. As somebody who's making part of the crazy happen. But let's introduce our players today. We have Grizlocke.
Hello, I'm Grizlocke. No, hey, how's it going? I'm Grizlocke. You can find me on YouTube at the same name, same place, and here on Sundays and Wednesdays. I'll be playing Orlin, the half-orc wizard, and stuff.
And stuff. Yes, we have a confusing show today, so I need my players and my viewers to be on their A game because we'll get to that. But next, we have Bumbleskum.
Hey, it's your boy Bumbleskum. You can find me on the Twitter at Bumbleskum, BUMBLESKUM. Other than that, you can find me on Twitch at Slimebasher, where I stream RPGs and stuff like that. Cool.
Yeah, he's been on that streaming grind lately, so if you want to be getting some daily content, go over there. Next, I believe, is Dyto. It's been a while since I've looked at the layout.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. It's been a while. It's been a month. I'm ready to get my head in the game.
Very good. And then we have TommieTaco.
Hey, I'm TommieTaco, and I'm ready to push my head through the game as I break my computer screen when my characters die. No, you can find me. You can find me here on Wednesdays and Sundays, and possibly Twitch, but I haven't really messed with it. So.
And last but not least is Dr. Phage.
Hello, I'm Dr. Phage. You can find me here on Wednesdays, and then you can find me on Twitter at Little Growth.
And one thing I forgot to mention about the Patreon, because it's pretty new and we're finding its footing. But we've been doing post shows, so you can get an insight into the DM and the mind of the DMs and the players and what they were thinking, what was going on during that session. And Icewind Dale's going to have its first one after this session. So yeah, if you want to get some extra content, we got it over there as well. But with that, let's get into a quick little recap. I'm going to do an overarching one and then what happened most recently, just for those of you who are new or it's been a while. So to start off, a group of kind of estranged characters got together and were adventuring around the 10 towns of Icewind Dale, completing quests that were put in front of them by various peoples during this everlasting rime that had been happening for 2 years. As they did this, they slowly started gathering that, hey, this probably shouldn't be happening. We should probably do something about this Ariel, the Frostmaiden. We don't like this. Let's stop it. So as they started to look deeper into it, they saw more things were going on than just the goddess of winter's wrath wreaking havoc upon the 10 towns, but also there was a cult that was following Levistus, and the Duergars were coming from the Underdark, seemingly led there by Osmodeus. So some devils bringing in people trying to get their hands in Icewind Dale during this time of bleakness. As our party continued, they also found some members of the Arcane Brotherhood were searching for what seems to be some kind of lost floating city that they had stumbled across part of the wreckage of, and found one of our current party members, Six In, who doesn't remember much of his past. And after the loss of many friends, some through death and some through being lost in a blizzard, we have come to have two separate parties currently. One is the main party that has been going around 10 towns doing these quests, and most recently has come across Ongajuk, the legendary sperm whale, who says they know how to get to Ariel, but our party has decided they aren't quite ready to take on the winter goddess, and want to find more allies and spread the word of what they are doing to sympathetic minds and people who might want to rise up against the Frostmaiden as well. And we also have the party of Goliaths that were put together through the return of Axel Breaker to his home tribe to fulfill his destiny, which he wasn't quite sure what was yet, but it seems he is to play a part in this ending of the Everlasting Rime. And with that, we had a little bit of downtime during the time we were away. Our characters are also away. They've been, what they assume is happening, being hunted by Avarice, one of the members of the Arcane Brotherhood, after they made her a little mad by destroying her familiar Raven when she was trying to get information from them after they had looked through the wreckage of the floating city, as well as her two gargoyle bodyguards. So they kind of got a wind that she was looking for them when they were going through the towns, and have taken up hold in the Elven Tomb from way back when they were hunting the White Moose. They found that again. They were holed up there, working on spells, working on potions, and working on getting some more X-Beaks because a lot of theirs died. So through all of that, they were able to build up resources once again, as well as Orlin was able to learn the sending spell to message Axel and get him and his Goliath companions to join them before they set out on their next tasks. And that is where we are currently. Our party has missed and matched with each other and split into two different directions. One heading southwards towards the spine of the world to investigate this light that was glowing from Six's amulet, as well as another group led by Orlin has gone over to East Haven in the caves near Denishire to investigate some of his old mentor's caves that they dwelled in. So that is where we will join the party. And this current party that we're joining consists of Orlin, our half-orc wizard, Shadowmind, one of our Goliaths, who is a monk, another Goliath by the name of Valriz, Night Hunter, who is our ranger, Zavros, a half-elf ranger as well, and Axel, the Goliath fighter. You all have wandered down the coastline of Lake Denishire to one of these caverns that Orlin and his mentor used to live in, and you have started searching through there. Feel free to do any talking that you might have wanted to do, or what you want to do here in this cavern. This cavern, Orlin, it's not as comfortable as you remember it to be. It has been abandoned for quite a few years at this point, but you also know that your mentor would use the Magnificent Mansion spell to make this more at home. She was a very high-class woman coming from wealth, so she wasn't just gonna slum it in a cave. She did spruce it up a bit, but the majority of it is gone, but there are some things still remaining here. Not as much as you would like, though.
Okay, and we're in the cave already.
You're in the cave already, yes.
She really let this place go.
So this is where your mentor resided.
Yes, me, kobold, brothers, sisters.
You had kobold brothers and sisters? I did not know that.
More like servants, really, but, some I took more of a liking to than others.
What is the light situation in this cavern? Is it lit?
It would be dark because it's been abandoned for so long. Unless you guys have a torch, because I believe one of you is the only one of you doesn't have night vision in some form.
No,
or another.
Shadowmind would have used his shadow arts for dark vision ahead of time.
Fair enough.
I still
Well, I mean, I
can't
could
get
light a
used to
torch.
seeing you without hair.
It is a new sensation for me as well. It is strange.
Must be cold.
I was thinking that same thing.
Slightly.
Well, keep your eyes out for any sort of papers, books that may lead to what she was looking for.
Would she keep traps that we should keep an eye out for?
There's a chance. Do I know of any like style traps she might have kept in the past? Maybe like over an entryway somewhere.
She didn't have many traps because she knew where the location was pretty safe, and also the kobolds weren't the smartest, so they probably would have got caught in the traps quite often. Yeah, if you wanted, I will say 2 things here. If you want to do investigation checks, you can to see what you can find. But Orlin, you also know there is another cave not too far from here that she never allowed you to go to. But you know where it is because you had followed one of the kobolds one time when they were sent over that way. A lot of times she would send the kobolds with like the extra body parts she was done with or carcasses she was done with that no longer held any value, and they'd often bring them over there.
Was this cavern, when we got here, was it, like, open?
Yes. There was nothing blocking it. It doesn't seem like anything had been in here for quite a while.
Is this considered where we're at a dungeon? Because I got this cool feat that I just want to keep using.
What is this feat?
The dungeon delver feat. Where'd it go? Yeah. So I'm alert to hidden traps and doors found in many dungeons. I gain the benefit of having
I will
advantage
say,
on.
I mean, you can roll a perception check or investigation check if you'd like to get advantage on them. I'll allow it to be a dungeon, yeah.
I would like to take a look around for any signs of animal tracks, fresh or old, to kind of get an idea if there could be animals living in this abandoned cave.
You can do that.
Also, Orlin rolled an 18.
Yes, I was just about to address that. So,
is it just like bookshelves and like desks and shit in a cave? Like what, or is it?
There really isn't any furniture in here.
Okay.
Orlin would know that a lot of the furniture was created during the spell. There are just like scraps of paper laying around, and there's some things sitting on shelves. Like there's like bones and things like shells. Like natural shells made from the rock work. It'd be like bones and things like that. Jars. 14 from or 22 from Zavros. You
so
don't
specifically. I'm looking for like maybe a trap door. I'm not looking for.
You don't find any. There's like smaller tunnel ways that shoot off from these rooms. There's like the main room, as well as these 2 side rooms that Orlin would know. One was his room. The other was Veline's room, his mentor, and the kobolds just kind of stayed wherever. They passed out essentially. Sometimes in Orlin's room, never in Veline's room. But you don't find any hidden stuff. 29 perception to try and find any current life. There isn't any that you can see. You know that there are, or you don't necessarily know, but Orlin and Zavros know there are dangerous monsters that live along this coastline, as you saw in one of the other caves that you were here in previously with the harpies and the water weird and the hag and the skeleton. So and just the given nature of the environment you're in currently and how harsh it is, not many things have come over this way recently. Orlin, with your 18, you see the room that used to be your bedroom, very barren now. Again, the bed's not even there. It's just a long, elongated stone that was once covered by a spell that made it a little more luxurious of a bed. Still a smaller room, but it did what you needed it to. You also find a jar that does. It's hard to see what's inside, but you know what's inside and is labeled Orlin.
What do I know it to be then? If I know what's inside.
You know that it's why she became your mentor, essentially. I don't know how much you want me to give away on this.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be useful. I'll just kind of put it in my satchel.
Yeah, the liquid inside of it's become clouded over time.
I pop the lid and give it a little whiff. Oh yeah. Close that back up.
Yeah. You don't really find the scraps of paper are so worn at this point, and you know that again, majority of her studies she didn't want you to see were in the other cave.
Mm-hmm. All right, if we believe we've searched all this and haven't seen any signs of life or any paper, perhaps we check the other cave. More secretive cave. I've never really been in it. So, perhaps that might be where we find something.
Sounds like the perfect place to go.
I can bring up the rear. Nobody can see Valrez, by the way. None of you can.
I throw my torch over in her area. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Oh.
Yeah, Valrez is going to hide. I'm going to put my torch out if she's going to be hiding behind us. Or unless you need me to hold a torch. So
no, it's just, it's my Gloom Stalker. If you're using dark vision, I'm invisible to you.
Oh, but what I'm saying is, you're behind us. If we get too far ahead and you can't see us because you don't have dark vision, do I still need to be holding on to this so you can at least see where the light's going?
No, because I'll stay out of the light.
I put it
None of you need a torch, is what's going on here.
Yeah.
But I also forgot to tell you. Actually, somebody does need a torch, I believe. Let me double check that.
Axel, you don't have dark vision anymore.
Axel,
I have my stone rune gives me dark vision.
Nope, you don't need a torch. Your good pal Shinar is with you as well. I forgot to mention.
Yeah. Shinar!
The mummy that was awakened within that elven tomb. She is also here. She has dark vision, so we're good.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. I was like, no.
So yeah,
gives me a very familiar feeling.
Master Orlin and Master Zavros. It's been a while.
Please don't call me that.
So you guys head over to this other cave. Let's get you on that map, shall we?
Boom, boom.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
At this point in time, do we know that Shinar is undead?
Would you have told her, Axel?
Because she's just been bundled up, hanging out.
Yeah.
idle in the village.
Never
for so
changes
long.
her clothes.
Doesn't
Reeks
eat,
of-
doesn't sleep.
Has a weird smell about her.
It's cold. She wouldn't smell.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah,
frozen.
She's preserved.
I don't think Axel would have, because he feels that's Shanar's thing to share. Like, doesn't want to go around being like, oh, by the way, she's undead.
If you guys want to insight check her, you can.
I want to just see if I see something's up or not.
Fair enough.
Probably not, but
With
we'll
my
see.
background. No, I'm just kidding. I already know.
Yeah, you've caught glimpses of like rotting flesh bandaged up as she like looks around. Yeah, you Night Hunter's definitely noticed. You hear like the bones cracking and the joints going back into place as she moves. It's like to Night
Not
Hunter,
natural.
you're 100% you know she's some form of undead. And Shadow Mind, you're like, there's something going on with this woman. That's not quite right.
Axel, your hair is back.
Oh, old token.
Oh, no.
Oops.
It's
Ch- ch-
spontaneous
ch-
cooking
ch-
grew on the way over here.
Oh, that's right. I never got a new
It's-
token for Axel.
It's that Goliath blood.
So yes, you enter this cave. So feel free.
There we go.
Just kind of, you don't have to move square by square. You are in this entranceway that leads into this cavern.
Okay.
Again, be even more cautious at this place. I don't know what to expect.
Here. How about I take the lead then? I think I'm probably one of our best scouts, so... Well, one of. Because he knows that. Valrez is pretty good now.
Yeah, as you enter this cavern, the water comes right up to the opening in the cavern, but doesn't go inside of it like with some of the other caves, and it is frozen. And as you get into the cavern, there's like a layer of ice along the floor that you have to kind of dig your crampons in in a little bit deeper as you walk. So you do know that this is there's a little bit of a humidity in the air that you are unfamiliar with, being as how dry the wind typically is in Icewind Dale during these days. As you continue forward, the area opens up. Let's see if it's going to work. It is into this larger cavern where you can
Valrez is doing much the same as she did in the other cavern, keeping an eye out for any animals or beasts or any dangers that could be coming up.
Another check for me.
Are we in a mountain?
No, you.
Okay,
all-
let me.
You can't move
Totally
Axel.
not.
I will give you permission to move Axel in a moment.
He revoked
That's
your
my
Axel
I
rights.
think that's original Axel that doesn't have permission. That's why.
It's only an 11.
Controlled by you.
There we go. I'd be up here.
Yeah, and Shannara is up with you guys too. So this tunnel opens up into this larger cavern, where you can see that not off in the distance, but towards the back of the cavern is this large open water source that almost seems to have a steam rising off of it. And you can see as it clings to the cave ceiling, it instantly freezes on the ceiling. But something is keeping this water source open. You do see that a tunnel comes off of the side here in the right side of the cavern behind some rocks, and there's also a very faint light within the water.
Can I do like a history check to see if there's any known like underground springs in this area?
Yeah.
Just to see what kind of nonsense this is about. 21.
A 21, none that you are aware of. You don't know that this is a spring necessarily because it
Right.
seems hotter than the ones that you're used to. Like the ancient, is that what they were called? The ancient springs that you guys had fought the dragon in. it didn't steam to the effect that this one did, so it seems to be hotter than usual.
So very
kind
an
of
unnatural heat.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, because that just immediately kind of put up a red flag for him. Like, this is a weird environment.
And not that it's necessarily unnatural, but not to the same natural standards that you're used to.
Not that anybody can see this, but Valraz has her bow out and just ready. But she doesn't have like an arrow nocked or anything, but what are we expecting or looking for, Olin?
Same as before. Any sort of papers or books that might lead to what she was looking for, investigating.
Looks just like another empty cave of rocks, if you ask me. Hey, what's with this light?
Yes, you approach this light, and it is underneath the water's surface, and it seems to be like slowly floating back and forth, listfully. And it's like, yeah, it's a small light. It's like maybe this big, and just putting off very a light aura in its area. And as you approach, everybody in their mind hears, "Who are you?"
Is the voice familiar?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Whose
Is the voice
would it be?
familiar?
It is familiar to Orlin.
Oh, who was that?
Baka, who would that be?
With Zavros saying, "Who is that?" You hear again, once again in your mind, "Hello, I'm Ivan. Who are you?"
Zavros.
Nice to meet you.
Is anyone else going to talk to this person? I
Have
hear a
you-
voice in my head.
Have you seen my friend? I
Where-
assume you're looking for him.
Where are you?
I don't know necessarily. I know my friend is in this area. I came to find him, but I haven't seen him.
What's your friend look like?
He's a half-orc. Gray skin.
Oh, Orlin's just kind of looking at the ground.
Hey, Orlin.
Yes.
Who is this? Is this your buddy?
Is he here?
What are you,
Orlin?
blind?
I can't see very far. It's dark.
This has to be some sort of trick.
Orlin? Is that you? I've been waiting for you here. I couldn't find you.
Where are you?
I'm right here in front of you. Can't you see me?
Is that light?
Are you in the water?
I think so, yes. It looks... Yes, I've been here for quite a while.
Hold on, I'm coming over. And Orlin will start coming over to the water. Can I look in?
Yeah. Are you just looking, or are you looking for anything particular? Because you would see this small
light.
orb of light kind of
Right.
floating back and forth in the water.
Right, and that to me was obviously very suspicious. So I'm trying to see if I can make heads or tails of what that light would be.
I will ask you this before I ask for what kind of check you want to do. Does Orlin jump to something more spirit-esque or more natural?
Like for what he assumes that is?
Yes. Like, what's your initial thoughts before you dig deeper into your?
Spirit or science,
I was
baby.
thinking it was a spiritual thing.
You can do an Arcana check.
18.
It seems spiritual. Like the glow of it seems like a glow spirits would give off, but you have encountered 2 ghosts already, and they've taken the form of their past life, whether that's more grotesque than it was to try and scare you, or just how they were. And it doesn't have that same glow. You've also encountered will-o-wisps.
Is it more
again,
similar to that?
It's similar to that, but not quite. So some kind of spirit you can assume. You just don't know what form.
How did you get here, Ivan?
After the monsters came, I tried to see if you were safe, and I came out here, but I couldn't find you. I tried following you, but got lost.
Everybody can hear this? What
Yes, everybody can hear
Ivan's saying?
Yeah.
What monsters?
They were like people, but scary and rotting.
I kind of look at Shinar, wherever she is.
Shinar's around. Over here.
I don't say anything, I just look in Shinar's direction.
Orlin, how long ago did you say you left this place? And I'm kind of whispering this to him, like kind of getting close to him.
Would it be 3 or is it 2?
It would have been a little over 3.
A little over 3 years ago. That's when the event he's speaking of happened. Ivan, can you get out of the water? Or are you stuck in there?
I can't get out. Could you help me?
Yes, we'll help. Just, don't worry, I have to think about it.
Can I do an insight check on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just do an insight check, then I'll say. 18. Does this seem legit? Because my brain goes to anglerfish, and I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like this is a kid that needs help. Some spirit version of a kid that needs help.
Okay.
Maybe this, because again, this water seems almost supernatural in a way you haven't seen water act before. Maybe the water is keeping the spirit in there somehow.
Is the water like, how warm to the touch is it? Like if it's like,
yeah, I was gonna reach down to touch it to see how hot it is.
Since I'm up at the shore of it.
Is there a way to get to the light? You said that there is a layer of ice.
There isn't a layer of ice on the water. There is on the ground that you're walking on, but the water is completely open. The water it's not boiling. It's pretty warm. It's not quite hot tub warm, but it's getting there. Was there another question?
Just as this conversation is happening, what is the shore situation? Like, is this like a gentle decline into some deep part of the lake, or is it like a crater?
It's like a drop. And this thing is actually pretty close to you guys. It's within reaching distance of you. And like along the shoreline of it, there is like a little bit of ice forming, but like the water is keeping it pretty clear.
How did you get here, Ivan?
I followed you, or I tried to follow you, but I've seen you go before. I know you went out there and you didn't come back, so... Are you gonna help me, or...?
Yes. We're gonna go look around for something to get you out of there.
Are you looking at it as you are talking?
Yes.
Can I get a wisdom saving throw as it glows a little bit brighter? Just from Orlin.
17.
Yeah, you're fine. it glows a little bit brighter, as if pleading to you, but
I
please continue.
sneak because he can't see me up behind Orlin and whisper, I have a net.
You said this thing was in reaching distance of us, right?
Yeah.
Like I can just
okay.
walk up and grab it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking there was too much distance to be able to do that.
Nope. It's near the surface.
It's like right on the edge of the drop off, so we could just walk up and grab it.
Sorry, I misunderstood the situation then. I will I'll kind of like get on my knees and like hold my arm down because you said it was a little bit of a cliff drop off kind of thing.
Yes.
I'll hold my arm down and like as if to let it come on top of my like swim over my hand, be able to lift it out.
While he's doing that, I have my hand on his belt, holding him if there's any shenanigans or he just falls in general.
I have my
There's no
hand
need
on
for that
Axel's
axle
belt.
breaker. The thing's legit. It's just a little kid or something.
We have a chain of people holding belts.
And then you've got Valrez in the back with an arrow ready.
This is how the whole
I'm a
party
dead person.
goes under.
As you have your hand out and it's like just hovering right above your hand, one more wisdom saving throw for me, please.
17.
Yeah, you put your hand underneath it and it's kind of bobbing, and once the time it bobs, you feel it touch your hand. You can feel almost like this rubbery sensation. As I need a dexterity saving throw from you with advantage because you have people helping you.
We got a lot of
nat
belts.
20 for
You know,
23.
Yeah, you are able to pull yourself back as you see at first these two pale eyes behind the light catch, and they're just empty eyes, and as it starts rushing towards you, you see these long needle-like teeth that fill its mouth, and we will switch scenes here as it comes rushing towards you.
I knew I should have an arrow ready.
We join the other crew. I forgot to switch music the whole time. Shoot,
That
we'll
music
switch
was
music
fitting,
now.
though. Very creepy.
It was kind of eerie for where we were. So.
But we join the other crew. You guys have been traveling through the spine of the world, following this light that Six has gotten from his amulet, that he sees nobody else is able to. But you are far to the south west down here. You've been following the Shannon Garin River. Is that how you say that? Down to the spine of the world. And as you started to climb the mountain, it didn't take long before you started to see, even with the heavy snows that have been happening, these deep tracks in the snow, as if this is a path that's taken quite often by some group of peoples. These very deep wheel tracks going through the snow, as if a cart comes through here quite often. And you can, before I say that, I'll say who's with us. We have our Six, obviously, our Warforged Druid is leading this adventure, along with Liliana, our Dragonborn Cleric, Felicity, the Tabaxi Artificer, and our two Goliaths that are joining them are Pabu, who is a Bard, and Morik, who is a Druid. Or Marok, sorry. So yeah, you guys are following these tracks. If anybody wants to give me a survival or investigation and check to check these tracks out, you can.
You said investigation?
Yes, the investigation would be more for the cart tracks, and the survival would be more for any other kind of tracks.
Okay.
It says Zavros, but I rolled off a Marok. I just gotta change my name.
Of those natural ones.
Oh, cool.
Because trust me, Zavros ain't got a +7 to survival.
Yes.
Investigation or survival?
Yep. Investigation is more for the cart, survival is more for any other kind of tracks.
I'll roll investigation.
I mean, 6 got a natural 20.
Yeah,
is
six
getting it.
six has got it down. It's just for more of card stuff here. So yeah, 6 with a natural 20 and Stone Hearer with the dirty 20. You are looking past the cart tracks because it seems to be some kind of big heavy cart. And what better to pull a big heavy cart through the snow, but a big heavy animal that lives in the snow? You do see what appear to be polar bear tracks to pull this cart. And 6, you also see that there are other tracks kind of off of the trail that seem to be, they're like wolf tracks but bigger. And you would know that these are from wargs.
So it looks like it. Does it look like it? So they're off the trail. Like, does it look like they're walking beside it, or are they? Does it kind of look like they might be stalking it? Like, I don't know. If
from what you've seen so far, they haven't converged, and they seem to be moving at a quicker pace rather than trying to stealth. So you can assume that these are more of like scouts on the outside of the cart, looking for things that might try to approach on the cart.
Is anyone else here familiar with this route that we're taking?
History? No.
Goliath can roll a history check. Actually, everybody can.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I even know what could be in this area.
Pabu with 28.
Oh, look at you, Pabu.
Ooh, you rolled a net 20 though.
Oh, you guys
Yeah,
are
but it's only 19.
party.
Question with amnesia, and he got a 21.
Yeah, like 6 with your history. You know, wargs typically are allied with goblins. They're really the only ones that want to go all the way to tame wargs. Because even then, they're not actually that tame. They just kind of put up with the goblins because they feed them enough. And yeah, Pabu and Liliana and Felicity too. There is a bigger goblin tribe that lives within the area that kind of has an understanding with the 10 towns, where if they get given enough resources, they'll leave the 10 towns alone. And Liliana would know this even more so. With the trying times being as they are, relations are strained with the goblins because they aren't getting as much as they want.
Now we're heading down in the direction of Red Run. Is that the direction we're going?
At this point, you're past it. You are like in these lower mountain ranges here right now.
Yeah.
I just want to know like which direction we're going.
You're going.
I don't know.
So light is right here.
I don't know. Just whoever's interpretation of the information wanted to share with 6.
So this is a group of goblins that previously was bribed. Bribe may be a strong word. Had an understanding with the 10 towns that they would give them some resources, and then the goblins would not raid, pillage the 10 towns. But the whole everlasting winter has made it so that there's not as many supplies going around. So I don't think the goblins are super happy currently.
Can you answer a question for me? Another one.
Possibly.
It seems as though I can see the tracks of their wargs. I'm curious though. Are they by chance allied with a polar bear?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yes, there does seem to be polar bear tracks here.
Right, the way everything is set up here, these tracks, if you look at them, you'll notice the way the prints are on the warg tracks are a little bit more messy, a little bit more hasted. It seems as though that these might be scouting tracks and for this cart and bear.
And I will say, you two would know there's 2 polar bears that are pulling this cart.
Oh, sorry, there's 2.
If they can train a warg, why not train a bear?
I don't
Or
think
two.
it works as the same for wargs and polar bears.
I've been working on training Valkyr.
You do
This
see
is
this
true.
small griffin alongside Babu on his shoulder.
I whisper in
and-
Babu's ear, "Stay close to me. These people are crazy."
Sit. Roll over.
Animal handling check.
No. Let's see. All right. 19. Oh shit.
Yeah, he's listening very well. And
boy.
for the audience and for Pabu, your little baby griffin is safe until you decide to start using it for things. I will not kill your griffin unless you start using it for things.
Okay.
Because he has like 4 HP, just so you're aware.
You're gonna go get him to
6 is
just
what's in
like
the
pick
notes.
up a bag for you, and just a random arrow is gonna take this
Yeah.
thing out.
That's
Does this thing need to make a Constitution saving throw for the traveling we've done?
No, again, he's safe until he starts doing things.
Okay. Well then, I suppose if things are strained, we might have to watch out. It looks as though we are going directly into their territory. However, the story you've regaled me with, these seem like they could be suitable allies for everyone's mission here. Do you not agree?
I hadn't thought about that. I guess if they're also looking to get back to kind of a situation normal where they have plenty of food, presumably, then perhaps?
I just want to mention, I know in the past, and I wish to emphasize, if we see someone, perhaps not blast them away immediately, and we can talk to them. That is all. We can keep an eye out. I think we're nearing it. The shining star on the mountains.
Robot Jesus. No.
So yeah, you start to climb this mountainside, and this mountain goes up very steep. In fact, steep enough that I'm going to have you guys do a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I'm just gonna take a nat 1 on that. No.
Oh, I don't want to see when the rolls start to go bad for me.
Oh, I did get a nat 1
so
at
far.
Yeah, so everybody, 6, you take 1 level of exhaustion.
That's
As
skill
the
check, right?
Your parts begin
What
to
was that?
freeze up.
yeah, that's just skill check disadvantage. So yeah, your joints are starting to cover in frost as you're going up this mountain to the point that you're going through clouds. It's getting so high up, and you continue. I'm getting feedback. You continue up until you are able to. You start to see something off in the distance. Built into the side of the mountain is this very janky wooden structure. You can see these what's the word? Parapets? That's not the right word. But it's like pointed spears, large pointed logs making up these walls. And you can see as well 2 guard towers a little bit forward from that wall. And as you're approaching, you can see like wreckage just in the rocks that seem to have come down from up top, just splintered wood. And
A palisade?
Palisade.
That's
There
the
you
word
go.
I was looking at. I was like,
Palisade. I can never remember that. Palisade. But yeah, you see all this wreckage. That some of it's charred, some of it just seems to have fallen down the mountainside. And this is what you see in front of you. It's still a ways off. You're able to see this from like a mile away. It's so open up here once you got past the first like cloud layer.
would that perhaps be where the goblins live?
Does it look like a generic goblin layer to me?
It's not very well built. You can assume it's goblin made, yeah.
If nothing else, it's at least a structure.
Goblins aren't very good at creating shit.
Does anybody here have a torch out? I know this is a very low dark vision group.
I don't have dark.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
got the
have
whole
dark.
balancing issues.
I
Fuck.
think nobody here has it, right?
I
Yeah.
do.
I was
have
wondering if
dark vision.
Tabaxi did.
I have a light cantrip, so I've probably like picked up a rock at some point and I'm like using it as flashlight. And if like I hear something, I shove it in my coat. But you know, for the most part, I'm just holding it out. Like,
Yeah, I would do something similar with my necklace.
You do
I
see
guess
that
I
there are.
like scimitar a lot, so I'll just use that as like a.
Okay.
I will light a torch because I can't
Old-fashioned
see.
way.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to light a torch with all the other light
Yeah,
cantrips going on
there's
here.
enough
Yeah.
magic shit going on
Yeah.
that I'm just kicking.
But
I prefer natural shit.
I'm all natural,
Felicity's-
baby.
Felicity's leading heavy
I
on
take my
her
clothes
cane.
off.
My old bones weren't quite made for these mountains.
And you do see that there are fires on top of the two towers that are in front of you, as well as on some of the walls of this structure that's built into the mountainside.
Are there any? Can I tell if there are any like patrols going on? Like if there were wargs on the with the polar bear track.
Just like around you or up on the, because the towers are too far away at this point to see what is up there.
I
but
just
like, around
as
you.
we're walking, I just want to keep an eye out for scouts,
All right,
like scouting parties.
Yeah, do a perception check. With disadvantage, because unless you're looking for things within your light cantrip.
Well, I have
That's
dark vision, so
5. And are you guys just tromping through the snow up there, or are you trying to have any kind of stealth to you?
I don't think 6 would.
No, I
You're-
think
you're
because
on
we all
X,
need light.
right?
It's one of those situations where it's like, well, we're going into a place we.
Oh,
probably
yes,
don't
you guys have
fuck
axe
up,
beaks.
so
Yeah,
we're just-
I think we've all been riding the group axe
Oh, I
axe
forgot
beaks.
about the axe
The group
beaks.
ass beaks.
aspects.
Um,
I mean, and we're lit up like the 4th of July right now, so
so is this light bringing you to that camp 6?
Is it?
You activate your amulet, and the light is within that camp. Yes.
It appears so. I think they might be housing my brethren.
Then I guess that is where we must go.
Yes, if we get perhaps a bit closer, I can get a sneak peek of what's inside of there. Perhaps see how many patrols they have, what it looks like on the other side of the gate before we start interacting with them.
If you wish.
All right. So, how close to these towers? Because the towers are in front of the gate itself. So, how are we approaching this? Because it seems like we have some kind of plan to scout first.
I mean, I just need to be, because I was going to cast clairvoyance, so I just need to be within a mile of the gate to see what's on the
Yeah.
other side of it.
You could do that from here. So
Okay,
if you
yeah.
just want to put the language of clairvoyance in the chat for me, please.
Yes.
Should we put out the lights while she does this?
It'll take a minute, but that is up to you.
I can still keep an eye out in the dark.
And I would be, we had talked about it, I have that bracelet I got from Celeste that I'm using as the focus for it.
Alright. Alright. It's a sensor visible. It's invisible. Can't be attacked or otherwise. When you cast a spell, you choose seeing or hearing. So you chose seeing, I assume. You can use the chosen sense through the sensor as if you were in space. As your action, you can switch between seeing and hearing. So you could change. A creature. Alright, so you are able to see the door from here for sure. Well, you can tell that there is a door from the torches. If you'd like to put it right in front of that door, because I think you have to be familiar enough to. So you wouldn't be able to put it on the other side of the door, correct?
Or an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you.
Okay.
So I can such as behind a door, around a corner, or in a grove of trees. So if I can be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, just like on the other side of that door, 20 feet or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are echoing through me. I'll try moving things around on my face. Yeah, so you do this, and through this thing, you see, first off, you are on the other side of the main gate, from what you can tell. You can see that there is a lock on the inside, but it's like barred, so it looks as though something small could get through it, or hands could get through it if needed be, to get to the lock. You also see... Let me pull up maps so I can see what you are seeing. You see that up above you, there seem to be goblins and wolves on this rampart, like above the main gate. They seem to kind of not be paying as much attention as they should for guards. They're kind of huddled together, trying to stay as warm as they can around any fires that are near them. You also see these hanging gates that hang above these bridges that go above where you currently have your eye at. The eye is in this like open courtyard area. There's these two bridges above you. One has hanging cages from it, and the other one that's a little higher up seems to have broken in the middle and is a little less sturdy than the other bridge. You also see some what seem to be like tanning racks over by a fire where a goblin riding a warg is kind of looking over the furs. There's a tent not too far from that. You can't tell exactly what that tent is. You see some more cages sitting on the ground, as well as in the far back of this courtyard. It seems to be like a large, almost like a holding area with a platform on top of it, because you can see these two massive doors on either side, and in a little bit of an what's the word? Like it's a push out, like the wall's straight and then it kind of pushes out into another wall. And in front of that you see this large figure that seems to be made of steel that is hanging from ropes that seem to that are tied to its like hands and legs, suspending it in the air. And that's what you see.
Cool. Before I start regaling things, can I switch it to hearing real quick to see if they're speaking in common? If they're not, I don't understand goblin.
Yeah, you switch it to hearing and you don't... give me a perception check. 9. Yeah,
9.
You don't really hear anything. Like, there's some mumbling from the goblins up top, but otherwise there's not really too many things going on here.
Okay. Well, and I'll maintain concentration until the 10 minutes is up, just in case. Did I get an idea of how many goblins there were, or just that there were some?
Do another perception check, because this one's sort of seeing rather than hearing.
7.
There's some. There's quite a few on the wall, you can tell.
Well, there's quite a few of them on the wall with what seem to be regular wolves. Once we get inside the gate, I believe your friend is in that main courtyard. We won't need to go inside the building. There's at least a man made out of metal hanging in the center courtyard, which seems promising. There is a warg with a goblin rider patrolling the courtyard as well, and then a tent with, I don't know what was inside of it, but I don't have an exact account of how many people were there, but they're not paying very good attention if we do want to try sneaking in any way.
I'm getting Ewoks worshipping C-3PO vibes.
You don't think that they will try to eat Valkyr, do you?
I would keep them hidden.
Definitely keep him hidden.
I
Not
would
to-
have to agree.
Not to be racist, but I have a feeling goblins will eat anything that they can. Especially at this point.
Can I Can he fit in my bag? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to stay there.
Give me an handling check.
Shh. 12.
He hates it, but he does it. You can feel like the claws like raking into the bag as he's moving around in there. All right, so
Well,
we just approaching.
I don't know if stealthing is really necessary.
I don't
Again,
think it is.
I think they're potential allies, do you not? Or should we not just approach as though?
Yes, it's certainly. I am okay with that being our first plan as well. Just giving you all of the options depending on how we wanted to proceed.
Do we have something to pay them with? They will probably won't pay if that is what they traded with the 10 towns for.
Got the promise that the winter will end. I don't. We could probably promise them that. I mean, I got a couple things I could throw them.
I could give them a few cool trinkets. 2, maybe 3 of them.
Okay.
I don't think we necessarily need to pay them to be our allies.
No.
No, but trade helps.
I would imagine, like I said, they are just as willing to have this winter end, or wanting the winter end just as much as us. So that may be enough for them to work with us.
I think we should approach, and then do we just knock on the gate?
Well, as you guys start to approach, from on top of the towers, you hear horns start to blow, and from within the goblin fort, you see that the fires start to get a little bit brighter, as the goblins are getting to attention. Let me double check something. Just to see how these goblins want to do things.
I'm so glad we have the singular diplomatic character between two groups here.
Well, how many there are you? 5?
12.
17.
Yeah, I think 5.
5.
It depends on
10
what
if you counter axe beaks.
Mm.
Don't kill the axe beaks. We just got them.
Yeah, Sabro's going to be upset if Choco dies.
Wait, Choco's...
We didn't buy 10 axe beaks. I only bought enough for
Yeah.
like the original
Yeah.
group.
Let's see. What's your AC?
13.
All right. So, Pabu, what's yours? Doesn't matter. 6. What's yours?
16.
16. So you hear as this whistling, as 4 arrows come flying from the top of the tower. 3 of them miss, hitting near the ground near Pabu, 6 and Felicity, but 1 does hit Felicity, for 4 damage as it just hits you in the shoulder as a volley of arrows comes from the nearest tower from you. That was the first to blow their horn.
You said 4. I'm not even going to bother with shields, so it's fine.
Wait, we come in peace.
Do you yell that?
Little fucking shitheads.
What?
Ow! What? They shoot the old lady first.
You're easy to hit, you move slow. What'd you say?
We have come
Also, they
here
wouldn't have heard that.
to make a deal.
What deal? We have no deals.
That's why we're coming to make... Pabu, just continue.
What of the
We're
deal
here
with
to
the 10
recruit
towns?
allies.
Allies for what?
A better life.
They're gonna roll some stuff here.
How can you give better life? You get shot with arrows.
How many of you remember life before the winter?
Hopefully none of them.
It's been a long time.
Well, we are planning to bring back the warmth.
How you plan on doing that? You bring us fire? We have fire.
Do you know what the sun is?
What?
The sun, the big glowing thing that was once in the sky. It was yellow.
Oh my gosh.
No?
I'm gonna whisper to Pabu. These motherfuckers are lost.
Do you have an elder?
Elder?
Yes.
Like old goblin?
Yes.
Who leads
Old
you?
goblins die usually.
Who leads you?
The boss goblin.
That is who we wish to speak with. He sounds strong.
What about? He's inside.
It's about bringing the fucking sun back.
Do a persuasion check.
Who?
Whoever wants to with advantage.
We.
Hey.
Pabu, yeah.
Babu!
Okay, I'll do it.
Babu!
Persuasion
Babu,
advantage.
I think
It's
he's the
one of
only
those
one with
things that
charisma.
It's like the bard.
Double
You
24.
don't hear anything for a little bit, and you hear,
Yeah, sure, we'll bring you to him. Go to the door. Say we'll blow the horn. Just they'll let you in.
Did that sound suspicious to anyone else?
I'm gonna incite this motherfucker.
Yeah, do an insight.
While that's happening, if it's still up,
No.
can I also
It sounds
look
normal.
through my sensor real quick to see what's happening on the other side of the gate?
You can see that more goblins have come out of the tent, and there seems to be goblins getting up on the back wall as well. And you can see the large iron metal figure. It's moving slightly, like one arm will move, and then the other arm will move, and then like a leg will move, but its head is down the entire time.
Creepy.
Yeah, like the ropes seem to be what are manipulating it right now.
Oh.
Everybody, yeah, the goblin seems to be talking, but Liliana, even while looking through the side, like, yeah, that goblin thinks something might happen with the leader that he wouldn't be able to do. So just be aware, I guess. It seems like they're going to let you in, but for what purposes?
Hmm.
I'm gonna, while we're waiting on them, I'm gonna use mage armor on myself.
Alright.
Just in case.
Are you guys approaching
Is the
the
trigger
fort then
happy?
at this point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Liliana, do you agree with this?
Do you have
You're
any
the one
other
that got
thoughts
the good
before we
insight check.
start?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of what she would say. We don't let them close the gate behind us. I don't know. Something feels wrong. I don't want to be trapped on the other side of the gate with them.
Do you think the camp might explode? Should we
You know-
warn the goblins too?
I don't know.
They are very gracious in letting us come in and speak with their leader like this.
Something just feels wrong. I don't have anything more than that.
Okay. And that's when I'll let mage armor and then.
So you guys begin to enter, or you go up to this large gate. That's not the right one. So you can see a fiery brazier cast its flickering light on a 30-foot-high spiked rampart that frame the main gate. There are about 9 goblins peering down over the top of you. You can see their noses poking over the side of the wall. And the gate is about 20 feet tall and fashioned out of cross-hatched pieces of wood that have been lashed together. And you can see, Liliana has seen this already, the heavy chain padlock that seals the gate from the inside. And you hear one of them yell out,
"Oh, our guests are here. Let them in, please."
And you can hear them fiddling with or you can see them too, fiddling with the lock on the inside, and the gates swing open.
Which way do they swing?
And I will get you guys on a map here, as I need to add a couple gobby-goos as well. You guys are out here now.
Yes. What way do they swing?
Yeah. How these gates swing? How they swing?
Where are their hinges?
The gates swing inward. So into the fort. Let me pull you guys down to the map. No, I'm still adding goblins to the map. Don't you worry about that.
Before we got into the gate, how close did we get before the gates opened?
You were right up on them.
I was gonna take a hinge off, but
6, your friend has a red token. That means he's evil.
So yeah, you enter this area. It's pretty lit up with torches all around the ramparts. But once again, you see 2 rickety wooden bridges loom over this area at heights of 30 feet and 50 feet respectively. The higher bridge is missing a large section in the middle, and what remains of that structure doesn't look safe. 2 iron cages hang from beams and extend southeast of the lower bridge. One of the cages twirls on its heavy iron chain as a flurry of black feathered ravens tear into the flesh of a desolate creature caged within. Underneath the bridge is a warg with its rider on its back, which you can see over by the fire here with the tanning hides. The rider, swathed in cold weather clothing, appears to be a rather fat goblin. North and west of the higher bridge, resting in snow, are 3 large wooden cages currently empty. In the far back, you can see that large iron figure that's suspended by ropes, and it's kind of moving comically like this with its head down, or like this, I say, there's audio listeners, like its arms are moving up and down like a marionette almost. And you can see up on the wall with this much larger brazier behind him is this, again, another fatter goblin with 2 goblins flanking him. And there are more goblins in the courtyard as well.
Are these squares 5 feet or 10 feet?
5 feet.
Okay.
So
should
large
we all be
courtyard.
10 feet tall? Or 10 feet?
What was that?
Tokens? Should we all be large tokens because we're on axe beaks?
That is correct. You are on your axe beaks. I will just make you large tokens.
Yeah.
We fat.
Because you are fat. So, what would you like to... You can see the goblins are just staring at you and kind of muttering to themselves. The ones on the rampart are looking down. You can see the wolves prowling back and forth up there as well.
Does any of them seem to look like the leader?
You can see that there's the one that seems to be centered behind the giant iron figure.
Okay. Can I check the amulet to see if it's like responding to this guy?
Yeah, you lift up your amulet and like a glowing outline goes around this giant iron marionette as it's moving.
Is it just something I see, or is it what everyone else?
It's just what you see.
Okay. It's him. It's them. They're the one we've been seeking.
Which one?
The big robot on the
Yeah,
road.
the metal one, Pabu. The large metal one.
Oh,
I'm just going forward.
Yes.
I do see it.
I'm staying back by this gate so that they
Yeah,
can't close
don't
it behind
come
us.
any closer than he would have called you up a little bit further away. Don't come any closer. Where do you think you're doing approaching the king, goblin?
Which of you is the king goblin?
Me. I am the king goblin, of course.
Yes, we're here on two important missions.
Yes, I
My
heard.
allies and I.
Bringing us the sun, I heard.
Yes.
Well, where is it? Where is it?
Do you know why the sun does not shine anymore?
You have it, obviously. We want it now.
There is a snow witch who has been darkening the land I've been told, for 2 years. It is our duty to
Witch, you say.
It is our duty to go and slay this witch, to bring back the sun and the warmth.
Well, we don't have no witch here. Well, we do, but she's not a snow witch, so unless you came to kill her, and I wouldn't mind if you did. No, but we need her, I guess. But no snow witch is here, so
Yes, no, we just
move along, I guess, or
we realized things must be rough for you guys since the snow has had its eternal winter, and we wanted to offer allyship in the fight against this snow witch.
allyship. What could you a shiny looking man offer us? You don't even have your son with you.
Oh, gosh.
These goblins are moving, by the way. You guys see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
goblins go to try and get in position to close the doors, but you're standing right there.
Well, we are all strong warriors, and it seems as though by the word of your people, your subjects, that you are also strong.
I'm the strongest one, of course. Look at me. I'm the king of the goblins.
Yes. You would be a great ally to have in this fight, would you not?
I'm not fighting no snow witch. I don't even want to fight our witch.
Are you incapable of killing a snow witch?
No, I just don't need to. I'm already a king, you see.
Oh.
No need to prove anymore.
Then should a king not help his subjects?
My subjects are...
Are cold.
We're fine here. Look at them. Look
you
at them
eating
all.
well?
What was that?
Are you eating well? Have things been better since the snow took over? You could change that.
They've been better, yes, but... Now that the 10 towns aren't holding up their end of the deal, we can just start killing people that come through the pass.
The
And
10
eat
towns
them
cannot because of
instead.
the snow witch.
What was that? Sorry.
The 10 towns can't help because of the snow witch.
Well, that's none of my concern. My concern is that they don't hold up their end, so we don't have to hold up ours anymore.
Well, if that's how you feel. Our second
It's-
order of business is my friend here. We've been
Who?
searching for him.
Well, I see all your friends here.
I point directly to the Iron Giant.
Oh, that's not your friend. That's our protector. That's big clunky. He kills anyone that tries to attack us. So look at how scary he is. This thing's just flinking around as it's being marionetted from you can't see who's marionetting it, but it's obvious. You can see the ropes pulling this thing.
Yeah.
Can I tell if his mechanisms even work to move his ligaments on his own?
Give me a intelligence check. Boop, boop, boop. 20. He seems a little banged up, but it doesn't seem like he's in
damaged in any way. He just, again, his head's like lulled forward and like it rolls back and forth as he's moving. It's not that he can't use them, it's that like when 6 wasn't activated. He seems to not be activated.
Why is he tied up like that? Why are they
What
tied
do you
up?
mean tied up? He's so not tied up. He could come kill you at the moment I say to kill you.
There's totally some fucking ropes tied to that thing.
No, there's not.
I don't think he would.
I whispered a
I have
little.
a feeling we are allies.
Oh, do you want to make a bet on that?
What do we get if we win this bet?
If you win this bet, you can leave with him.
That is why we came here.
That's
Sounds
fine.
like a good deal.
All right. I'll take that bet.
All right, well, I'll just let him go then, and we'll see. You hear him clap his hands. Let them see him. And as he claps, one of the goblins behind him blows a horn, and the ground itself begins to shake. From what seems from behind the wall, where rather than the construct being lowered to you, you see the 2 doors on either side open, and from within inside of it, once on the eastern side, we'll say, 2 wargs with riders come out, and almost before the door can even open on the other side, you see it just splinters apart as moving through, swaying its long trunk, comes this enormous beast that's like 10 times bigger than an elephant. It's covered in hair. It's got these long curving tusks on top and 2 smaller ones coming out from the bottom. And on its back is this large structure that seems to just be barely holding onto this creature's back as goblins are hanging from it, riding on the back of this giant olifant. And we will come back to that after the break.
Cool.
So, thank you so much for joining us for the first half. The second half is going to be 2 combats simultaneously. We'll see how that works out. And if it doesn't work out, I'll never do it again. But I want to try it at least once.
Okay.
So, again, be sure to go take your break, walk around, take a drink, take a bathroom. And we'll see you in a little bit, guys. Oh, there's some shit. Are we on?
Yeah.
Is this thing on? Are we live? Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are getting into some combat. I believe I left the goblin music running, so let's get into some combat music. Warning to Grizz, it gets loud at one point, so don't get too loud at the beginning here. So how we are going to do this is that everybody's going to roll their initiative for their characters in both parties, and we're going to run them simultaneously, but it will be 1 round with one group, and then and then 1 round with the other group, and we'll switch that way instead of going back and forth constantly. And whoever rolls the highest between the NPCs and the PCs, that's where we will start. So if everybody wants to roll their initiatives, we can get them all written down here. Also, this is going to be a lot of moving parts, so I just ask that everybody be on their toes. You won't be able to see the other map after you finish your turn on one map, unfortunately. So you won't be able to prep as much. But just
the 12
thinking,
is Orlin. I just forgot to change the roll in the chat.
6. Whose roll is which?
Oh, sorry. The first one was 6. The second one was Shadowmind.
Okay, cool. So 6 got a 17. Shadowmine got a 23. I assume Stonehearer got the 13?
Yeah, I changed my names respectively.
Pabu, is that Pabu or Orlin with the 7?
Pabu's the 7, Orlin's the 12.
Orlin's the
I think the
12.
Goliaths are going first.
Liliana got a 3.
Yep. Axel got an 11.
Zavros a 6, Axel an 11. Felicity got a 19.
And Valrez got a 31.
31 is going to be the winner
crap.
there. So we are going to be on the other map. Let me just pull you guys over there to kind of
Say the
look
name
at
of
it.
that.
And I'll
Roll-
describe the monster or whatever you're facing in a moment here after I get everything written down. So I'll just write the cave and the fort. And initiative order for the cave is going to end up being Night Hunter, Shadow Mind with a 23. Who else is here? Orlin, Zavros, and Axel. Next is whatever you are fighting. Then it will be Orlin. And then Axel. And then Zavros. And then over with the fort. The first in initiative is the goblins. Yes, the goblins will go first. And then Felicity. Sorry, was that Felicity? Yes, Felicity. And then 6. No, wait. No, then the wolves. And then 6. And then Stone here. I don't even know why I gave the wolves an initiative. They're so out of the way, they probably won't get to do anything anyway. Then the wargs. And then Pabu. And then the Oliphant. And then Liliana. And then Shannara is last in the initiative in the cave with a 0 initiative.
Oh, Shannara.
Alright, so Orlin, you have reached down to grab this light, and you feel this rubbery appendage as this massive face with these blank white eyes and sharp teeth goes towards you to try and clamp down on you, but your friends are able to pull you away as this enormous creature with the head of an angular fish, and it's got the torso, like the sickly looking torso, these very skinny bony arms with giant knots where the elbows are, and long fingers with webbing in between them, and these sharp wicked claws on its hands. And it continues to raise out of the water as you see the lower half of it. It looks like a fish centaur, as this lower, almost equine looking body with like fins hanging off of it, and these large circular feet and a whip-like tail follows behind it. That part's still mostly underwater as it's raising up at you. And this thing is massive. With that, we are starting with Night Hunter.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When we were last with the Goliaths, we said the next time we would see them, they would be level 6.
I lied.
No.
Okay,
They're level
I wanted to make sure,
No worries.
because nobody said anything,
No
but
worries.
that changes a few things. So give me just a second. I'm going to first bonus action Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a few steps back. And I'm going to shoot 3 arrows at this guy.
Right, you have advantage because it can't see you.
17, 15,
17 hits, 15 does not.
and 25.
25 also hits.
I'm gonna roll. All right, that's 13 for. Okay, that did include my
Include everything, or?
It did. It included my I forgot what it's called. My Gloomstalker thing.
All right. Yeah, you put these 2 arrows. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
That was just the one. I'm just getting my Hunter's Mark up.
So yeah, you put these 2 arrows in this thing, and it's
That's not all the damage. That's just
it's
one.
not all yours. Okay.
Why it's not rolling now?
can you elaborate on the description just a little bit? So you say it like you said it like a fish centaur. Does it have legs or is it like fins?
It has legs. Yes, it has legs.
So it looks like it could come onto land.
It could come onto land if it wants to, yes.
What kind of legs does it have? Like a seal, a human, a horse?
They look like these big, thick horse legs. They don't look like exactly like horse legs, but they're very like thick and muscular.
Is it a seahorse?
Yeah, you could call it a seahorse. Or you could call it a centaur is what we think on. So total of what is this?
25 damage.
Total of 25 damage. And I already took away 13, so 12 more. All right. Yeah, these 2 arrows nail into this thing, and it begins to scream out. This terrible wailing scream. And as it does it, this light begins to glow once again. Orlin, I want a wisdom saving throw from you once more, please.
And I'm gonna move back some more.
This thing loves you.
11.
Orlin, you as this thing, you saw glimpses of this thing as it was raising up, and you saw it for just a moment, this creature, but the light just catches your eye again. You remember hearing the voice of Ivan coming from it. Or Ivan.
Yeah, that was a stupid name choice on our part, huh?
It's fine. So you just become enthralled with protecting what you don't know why the voice is coming from this light, but you want to protect this light, and Night Hunters just attacked it. So while under the effect of this, you are currently the champion of this beast, essentially. The champion must use its action before moving on each of its turn to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that has dealt damage to this monster. So fortunately, you can't see her, so unless somebody else attacks it before you don't have to attack anybody.
Okay.
You can repeat your wisdom saving throw on the end of your turns. And unless you succeed, you're under this effect for the next 24 hours. So essentially, you want to protect this light from whoever attacks it. Luckily, it's the wizard doing melee attacks on people, so it won't be too bad. If that's the case. I just got a message, and I probably should have actually looked at it. Okay, we're good. Never mind. All right, so next in initiative is Shadow Mind. You see this enormous creature on the shore next to you. On the shore, it's right next to the shore. I'll move it there so that you can...
I have just a small question about our lineup on this shore.
Fair enough.
Should Orlin be closer to this thing?
Technically, yes. Orlin is right here. Okay, and Zavros would be right next to him as well because he was helping hold him.
Okay, if he's right there, okay, just okay. So from our view, it looked like he was about to eat Orlin until we yanked him up, right?
Yeah. He saw at first inside the mind of the creature. At first, he was trying to trap him with this light, and then not seeing that, he kind of rushed at him, tried to bite him. Yeah.
Hey, Orlin. Your buddy Ivan here seems to be a little hungry. Did you guys have an issue, or?
Are you hungry, Ivan? Need food?
A little bit. That lady just shot me. Or somebody just shot me.
Do not shoot him.
Don't let them hurt me.
All right. I'm just gonna prepare if something attacks me, or if he attacks me, I'll prepare to do stunning strike. But I mean, if Orlin says Ivan's fine, then that's fine.
All right, fair enough.
I say prepare to do stunning strike, but just prepare to attack.
You're prepared to attack, yes.
Yeah.
It is this thing's turn. What does it want to do on its turn? Night Hunter, you are the closest to this exit. You see behind you as water begins to swirl behind you. Where is my thing? There we are. And this whirlpool begins to appear, blocking your exit. So now there's a cyclone of water spinning where you guys would exit out of.
It's like a Devil May Cry fight.
There you go.
We gotta kill the bees to leave the exit.
Yeah, and it's coming towards you guys, but it uses its action to create that, and then it's at this point it's only speaking to Orlin. Make sure they don't hurt me. I'm
He
afraid.
blocked the exit.
I'm sorry, Ivan. I failed you before. I won't do it again.
Please, I trust you. All right. Next in initiative is Orlin.
Wait.
Nobody that you can see is attacked. Oh wait, go ahead. Do you have a reaction?
I need a reaction from the sea centaur. A wisdom saving throw, please, because I'm going to invoke my stone ruin.
All right, a
I'm
wisdom
not
saving
Sister Liliana.
throw. What do we got? All right. How's a 26?
Well, okay, that does succeed, but
I'm on.
it's worked in the past and been very cool.
It has too many times. No, fair enough.
Sharp's prepping like, fuck this Goliath.
I actually lowered its wisdom score from what it actually is. We'll talk about that in the short rest to go to the fucking not short rest. The
Chaotic
post
stupid.
Whoa.
Chaotic
Chaotic
stupid.
stupid post show.
The after show.
Anyway, it is Orlin's turn, but yeah, you don't have to attack anybody because you
That
aren't
stone
close enough
ruin
to
doesn't
attack.
pop anything off. Stone ruin, sorry, not ruin.
It doesn't do damage.
No, because
I just try to charm it.
Yeah, it doesn't react to it at all. So
I just kind of draw my dagger and kind of look toward the group, and everyone calm down. He's just a boy.
you can make your wisdom saving throw now.
All right.
He's gonna say that, make his wisdom saving throw. It's like, holy shit!
Yeah, no, you are still under the effect of being his champion. Next is Axel.
Okay. Well,
Orlin says it's just a boy as this
No one attack him, just a boy.
This-
Pulls out a dagger. Calm down.
huge creature is just looming over him. Just this terrifying creature of the deep.
Well, Orlin, I fear you are not in your right mind. Therefore, I'm going to invoke my giant might. I'm going to become Big Axel.
Hey, actually, you will have to step back from where you are because Zavros is there. Actually, no, because as long as you don't enter your turn there, you're fine.
Just
Yeah.
fucking push me.
I'll then just
Whoa.
I'll swing around.
His strength score is -1, so if you expanded, he would easily be pushed aside.
You just hear from your right a soft.
I was smacked
That's
by a
him
paper
knocked away.
towel.
What a brute.
Oh no.
And then I'm going to take 2 attacks on this fish thing. 23 and an 11.
11 does not hit.
So that's
21.
21 damage total.
Yeah.
Sorry, just punched my mic.
How dare you?
And I'll look down to Shadowmine and just be like, Pete, I don't know what's happening. This is not his friend. This is not the boy.
Are you sure?
I'm just hazarding a guess that this is not his friend. If it is, I will take the blame. It will be my fault.
All right, with
I'll have
that,
to make a check to see if Night Hunter knows what this thing is. She is a fisher. She is a fisherman.
possibly.
That's her background.
With that, a legendary action will now take effect.
Fuck!
I need to. Let's see here. I'm gonna draw a line for you, and everybody that is on the wrong side of that line needs to make a check for me. And it's probably gonna be everybody but Night Hunter.
So
Is it just
everyone
like
but Night Hunters on the
Three?
right
Is it
side,
just like
right?
3 squares down from the top of this? And then everyone's south?
So anybody, so you 4 up there, Axel, Shadowmind, Orlin, and Zavros, I need all of you to make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Damn, I just said my strength was -1.
Yeah, I roll an 18 on my strength.
Do I got a feat? Do I have a
Axel,
feat?
how did you get an 11?
I don't know, but I have advantage, so it's actually 16.
Because
I
he
don't-
big.
Yeah, because you're a big boy.
God.
Zavros?
Oh, that's Marok, sorry. What? Zavros has a -1, but he's proficient in strength saves.
So which one is Zavros's?
Zavros is the 2 to strength save, so it's an 18.
It's an 18. Okay, cool. Oh God, how
Too many
this
goddamn
work
character sheets going.
out? Oh God, where's my thing? It's not on the down button. I gotta look up some rules because I didn't think this was gonna happen.
Uh-oh.
Shoot.
But as the water begins to rise around your feet, and then pretty quickly begins to suck back, and everybody is able to hold themselves up, except for the one wearing heavy armor, Axel. You are pulled into the water, and you cannot swim, giving you an effective speed of 0 whenever you're in the water. You lose any carried shields or weapons and begin to sink. You can make an athletics check each round. Success keeps your head above water, or if you start the round underwater, you can swim 15 feet towards the surface. You can take no other actions. A failed check means you sink another 20 feet. You can attempt to remove your armor, but you will sink at a rate of 20 feet per round during this time. It normally takes 5 minutes, 50 rounds, to doff your armor, but a successful DC 15 dexterity acrobatics check will cut that time in half. Without your armor, you can swim towards the surface at a rate of 20 feet per round. So you do start with your head above water, but you drop Dawnbringer, your hammer,
Yep, Daybreak.
and it starts to sink to the bottom.
You couldn't have rolled like 2 higher.
Oh, look.
He needed more than, or no, he needed 2 exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
18
He got
was
16.
the
Yeah.
save. Unfortunate. All right, that did not turn out the way I wanted to, but that's fine. So as this water recedes, you see that the water instantly begins to freeze on the ground, creating rough terrain anywhere in that area as well. As well, I should mention, like, the water seems to be crystallizing on this creature as he's above it, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him. Next in the order is Zavros.
I don't like this.
Why not?
Because now it's rough terrain. I don't think I can. Okay, let's try something here. Yeah, no, I'm. Fuck. Yeah, so for starters, can I do I don't want it to take an action, so I can, I'll roll it at disadvantage, but do I know what the fuck this thing is?
Roll a nature check.
Not you, Marok. Zavros. No.
No, you do not. This is beyond what you have come across, even with the things you've come across.
This thing is ugly, hideous, and it must die. Yeah, so I'll do this through rough terrain. I'll move my 30 feet and to go around Orlin and Shadowmind, and I am going to do bonus action Slayer's Prey on this thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot my longbow at it.
Zavros, no.
This thing is not a boy. It's a very large fish thing.
Now
Then what's
you
it
stop
gonna do?
killing.
Orlin, what is he doing?
Don't know what's come over him. He must be possessed.
Bloodlust at death. Oh, that sucks.
Does not hit.
I distracted him just
Yeah.
enough.
That'll do it. I get advantage, right? No.
No. No, you do not. I'm just looking for something. Anything else from your turn, Cyrus?
Nope.
All right, then it is Shinar's turn. Oh, Shinar, where are you? I gotta
Right
go
below
back to the
blue
map.
line. Oh.
I was trying to find something for later on. Yeah, she sees Axel's in the water. Orlin has his knife out pointing at people. Master Zavros, what should I do?
first of all, stop calling me master and go to, just the far end of this cave. Just get the fuck away from here. Don't go through that tunnel, though. Go over there to the southeast, west. Go southwest, not southeast.
East-west. Alright. Southwest. She moves. She dashes over here. Alright, yeah, she kind of pulls her body over there. And that is where we will go over to the Goblin Fort.
Ooh.
So over at the Goblin Fort, we have a ton of goblins that are about to take their turn, and it's not going to be pretty for a lot of you. So the boss is going to move back, so he's not in the way, and he will be back there. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goblins on that wall, and 2 over there, 2 by the doors, and oh, there's so many goblins. All right, so how we're going to do this is first 2 are going to shoot at 6. Goblin. What is your added bonus? A 19 and a 22.
Armor class 20.
So the 1 will hit. Good thing I threw one of them off because I was rolling 2 by accident and 1 went flying. So 4 damage from that attack. Then we have the 6 on the Oliphant that are also going to shoot at you because you're closest. We have a 16, an 11, a 10, a 19, a 24 as a crit, and a 6. So 1 hits you as a crit.
Exciting.
For a total of 9 damage from that arrow.
Okay.
These 2 are going to move and start trying to push the door shut. So they're taking their turn to do that, but you are in the way. So they're just waiting to get you to get out of the way. The one on the back of the warg is going to shoot, or there's those 2 up there too, aren't there? 2 more are going to shoot at 6 from the wargs at the top. 1 hits you.
Okay.
With a 23 to do 7 damage.
Okay.
The warg closest to Pabu is going to shoot at him for a 10 to hit, which misses. Then we have 9 on the wall. So they need Liliana out of the way. Guess how many are going to shoot at you?
All of them.
9.
2.
What's your armor class?
My armor class is 16. One of those will have disadvantage because I'm going to use my reaction.
Alright, I will roll that separately then. That one got a miss. It's a 15. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the other 8. We have 1 nat 20. We have 21. This one misses. This one got an 18. This one misses. This one got a nat 1 and misses. This one got a 14 and misses. And this one got a 14 and misses. So 3 hit, one of them being a nat 20.
Okay, that's not too bad.
So actually I can just roll all of my d6 that I have here. That's 11 from the crit, 3 from one, and 4 from the other. So yeah.
18.
Yeah. Very good. The goblins went a lot quicker than I thought it would. Not too shabby. So yeah, the 2 are holding their action to close the door if you move, because you just got pelted by a lot of arrows. Then we have Felicity.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Blur on myself.
Alright.
For my action and for my bonus action, I can. Do I shoot at the front or do I shoot at the back? Well, it's currently pointed towards the front. So, did this one shoot at Pabu?
Yes, this one over here shot at Pabu, and it's riding a warg.
Okay. She's pretty smart. Should I make a check to see if she would know which is more dangerous, the warg or the goblin?
You can if you want to. I also have to change their size because I realize the wargs are also bigger.
Would that just be straight intelligence? Nature?
Insight.
Wait. Not my best, but I rolled 5. So I'm gonna shoot the goblin.
Alright.
With my Force Ballista.
20 will hit.
Sorry. All right. So that does. Oh, I forgot about that. It does 2d8, 2d6. 2d8, and the goblin gets pushed back 5 feet.
Well, the goblin gets pushed back 5 feet and is also dead. You just blast this goblin off the back of this warg.
Nice.
And that'll be my turn. That's my action, my bonus action.
All right. It is then. Sorry. Oh, the wolf's turn. The wolves are just like effing around up on there. They can't get down.
Oh, I'm gonna move up a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know how far the axe beak can go. Just gonna move to there.
50 feet. So yeah, the wolves are kind of staying up there. They're there to protect the goblins if you come up to them for any reason. 6.
Can someone remind me? Because I've been trying to look and I can't find it. But I thought if you cast a spell, you can't cast another spell unless it is a cantrip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is that
So
right?
if
Correct.
you cast a spell, that's a bonus action. Then you can use a cantrip. That's an action. Otherwise, if the spell is an action, you can't cast anything else. Because I don't think there are any bonus cantrips, if I remember.
No.
Few
Yeah.
and far between.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. It's really not the best scenario I've been in. By a long shot. I am going to. Screw it. I'll still do it. I'm gonna conjure animals.
All right. What are you conjuring?
I am conjuring a giant elk.
All right.
I think it's up to. Let me see the information. Range 60 feet. Yeah. So I'm gonna conjure the giant elk. It is huge, and I'm gonna do it. So its edge touches that. So I guess like right here. I don't have a. Yeah.
You gotta make.
No, it should be. It's
bigger.
huge.
Yeah, I just only had
Okay.
that size elk. They don't have giant elk, just normal elk.
So that rolls its own initiative, which I believe is a +3. What's that? 5.
5.
Yeah.
5 plus 3? Oh no, you.
No,
you have
it's
giant
just
elk.
a 5.
Okay, cool. So in a 5, sorry. That goes after the Oliphant, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, right after the Oliphant. Right before Liliana.
Then I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm gonna move down here on the beak.
Alright. Actually, pretty good move. Stone Hearer.
How high up is this gate wall?
I believe I said 30 feet.
30 feet?
Yep.
Okay. So, I am going to cast a spell.
Ooh.
So you see Marok like kind of reach down by his water skin as he pulls out this like little drop of water comes out of it as he swirls his hand up in the air and then casts it to the sky. And I'm going to cast Tidal Wave on the 3 goblins on the top of the wall.
These 3 by Liliana here, or
The ones that are up on top of the wall there.
yeah, because there are 9
Cool.
up there. It's just
So I'm just going to do those 3 because
Okay.
like you can only make it 10 foot high. So,
fair enough.
but it's got a range I think of 120 feet.
And they need to beat
yeah.
a 15,
15. They got to beat a 15 deck save.
13, 18, and a 4. So 2 of them fail.
So 2 of them take full damage and are knocked prone, and the one that beat just takes half damage.
Does 22 damage.
I guess so. God damn, that's a lot of damage.
This tidal wave forms just pushes them all off the other side. and as they hit the ground, they're dead. So 3 more goblins taken care of. Anything else from Stone here?
I am going to. I want to say that. Oh wait, no. As far as spells go, I am going to stand. I'm going to shift to be directly behind Liliana, and that'll be my turn.
All right, that means it is the warg's turn. First warg, seeing that Felicity shot at it but has moved out of the way of a different target, is going to run at Pabu. Warg, which tab are we on? There you are. And is going to take a bite at Pabu for a 23 to hit.
That hits.
With 12 piercing damage.
I will
And-
Stone's Endurance
All right, go ahead and Stone's Endurance.
as well, right?
D12 plus your con modifier.
Plus. What do I got for con mod? 1. Okay. 6. Okay.
So we reduce 6, so it's down to 6. And I also need a strength saving throw from you.
No. Okay. Yeah.
No.
Let's see. 13.
A 13 passes. You are as it tries to jump on you and knock you over. It is not able to do so. These 2 wargs up here, both are going to take their action to dash to get right in front of both of you. And then it is Pabu's turn.
Okay. I am going to cast Mirror Image on myself.
Alright.
So post in there, but yeah, I create 3 illusionary duplicates.
Mhm.
Don't forget. And then I will trying to figure out if who I should inspire, if at all. You know what? I'll just wait there. That's good.
All right. Next is the Oliphant, which is being impeded by a giant elk currently, so it's unable to charge as it's being stabbed by spears and prompted to go forward. You hear it trumpet out in rage as it is going to swing its trunk first at the elk.
Yeah.
For an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Watch
Watch it crush it.
It is now grappled. It's not, because it's huge instead of being large. So it swings a trunk and tries to wrap around it, but it's a little bit too big for it. So then it will try to gore it with its lower tusks. For a 26 to hit.
I think that does it.
Yeah, it's probably gonna kill it too. It does a load of damage.
Look.
This is the thing you want to avoid if you couldn't tell. 2, 4, 10, 13, 16 plus 8 to be 24 damage.
Okay.
Also, everybody keep track of your Axe Beak's health. Well, what is the Axe Beak's health, if somebody can remind
19.
me? 19. And the AC?
11.
11. So everybody has 19 health. Axe Beak that can also get attacked. I forgot as well. Otherwise, I would have done that. Yeah. So that's its turn.
What's the AC again?
11.
11.
AC. Okay, thank you.
And
Yeah.
so just to clarify, only our characters have been attacked so far, right? Not the Axe Beaks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Just characters. And an elk. All right. So that is the Oliphant's turn. It is now the elk's turn.
All right, it's gonna try and hoof the thing.
Oof. Give it a hoof.
Give it a hoof.
25 will
25
hit. That is
for
a lot of
17 bludgeoning.
damage. Ooh-wee. Yeah, it's I don't know. How's your elk attack with the hooves? Does it rear up or does it turn around to kick?
It would just rear up. Because then it can also, if the thing was prone, it would do a lot more to it.
Meditate. Anything else from your elk?
You know what? Actually, I don't think it could have. I don't think I can use the. I think it has to be prone. So I can just do ram at this. It's the same attack bonus. It'll do less damage.
Yeah, then it just stabs it with its antlers instead.
So 13 damage.
13 damage.
Instead of 17.
All right, so just add 4 more. Cool.
And he's gonna stay there because he doesn't. He could do better if he rams, but it's better for him to stay there.
Yeah. All right. It is then gonna be Liliana. It's your turn.
Great. I am going to use my channel divinity to do Radiance of the Dawn. I need a Constitution saving throw from the 2 goblins that are next to me.
Oh, gobos. An 18 and an 11.
So the 11 fails, the 18 passes. If they pass, they take half of that damage, which is radiant damage. If they fail, they take all of it.
Half of 17 is 8. All right. 2 more goblins are dead.
Cool, great. And then I'm going to 2nd level healing word myself.
Fair enough. All right, and with Liliana finishing her turn, we return to the cave, where it is Night Hunter's turn. You just saw Axel get swept into the water and begins to sink, and the mummy kind of pulled herself over in the corner.
Seeing that there is not much that I can do for Axel, I'm going to shoot 2 shots at. First, I want to. Do I know what this is? What?
You can make a nature check.
No.
No, you do not.
All right, I'm just going to shoot it. Oh,
16.
26
Oh yeah, 26 will hit.
and a 19.
19 does hit as well.
I'll do all of my damages. Oh, that's some terrible hunter's mark damage. So 21 damage altogether.
All right.
And I'm going to... Faris is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet away from where she originally was. And that's going to be her turn, because she doesn't have any bonus action.
All right. It is then Shadow Mind's turn.
I'm going to move here. Actually, no, I'll stay where I'm at. Well, I suppose if Axel's last words were "take it on," I should at least honor him. And then I'll attack the fish tar. Does a 25 hit?
That 25 hits.
That's 5, and then I'm going to spend a key point to stunning strike, so I need a con save.
All right. Ooh, it no real good. Constitution save doesn't have any kind of extra bonus, so 8.
Fails. Stunning strike goes through. You're stunned until the end of my next turn.
All right. And how much damage did you do?
So that was 5 damage.
Okay.
And then I get a second attack because I have an extra attack. So 17 to hit.
17 hits.
All right, so that's 9 damage.
9 more damage.
You also can do 1 free bonus action attack with your fists.
1 free bonus action attack?
Yeah, you don't have to spend your key to do a bonus action punch. Only if you're going to do flurry of blows.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll do that. 12?
Oh, does not hit.
Okay, we know at least the bar is above 12.
Stunned condition.
Let's meta math this shit. Where is he?
I know I can't do a lot of stuff. I just want to check certain things. Incapacitated. Automatically has strength and dex, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage. So even with advantage, you don't hit that one. But yeah, it's like this creature's not moving at all. But Orlin, you still hear the. He just punched me.
I never should trust these newcomers.
And it is your turn, Orlin.
I will stab towards Shadow Mine, which is probably the worst idea I could ever have if I was in my right mind. But hey, an 18.
Oh, you got him.
Oh, that was Pabu. Hold on.
Oh, Pabu always hits with his dagger.
Yeah. Pabu always hits. Hold on, let me.
Pabu manifests right next to Shadow Mine.
14.
Misses.
There we go. That seems more.
Yeah, you see, like, you catch out of the corner of your eye as Orlin thrusts at you with the knife. You already know he's not in his right mind, and you're able to dodge out of the way.
Whoa, slow down there, buddy.
Wisdom saving throw, Orlin.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there it is.
Yeah, you turn to look to see if Ivan is okay, and you, like, blink for a minute, and you look past the light, you see this horrifying face of this creature behind it, and
kind of shockingly stumble a little bit.
I told you it wasn't a fucking boy, and so did Axel, who is currently drowning.
I'm sorry.
Everybody here. No, I'm here. Help me.
Yeah, tell Ivan to calm down. I don't know what he's doing with the water, but it's mighty fishy.
So it's at the end of my turn.
Speaking of fishy, it's Axel's turn.
Okay. Axel, looking surprisingly serene, despite drowning, feeling the armor pulling him further and further under the water. Just as his head bloops under the water, I am going to activate my, what I'm calling Omeler's Blessing. And as you see Axel's head bob below the water, what comes up is now the head and body of a full-blown polar bear, as I have transformed based off of the blessing I received after my crawl.
Ooh.
I think you can move the polar bear, but I can move it for you if you need.
I cannot. That's
It's the
fun.
polar bear that was pulling the sleds.
Yeah.
Mile traveled fast.
And then that is my action to do that. And I'm just going to move on the other side of the fish creature, like right behind it, so it can't easily escape.
Like there, or even further behind it?
Almost so I'm like up and to the right, like 2 more.
Back here.
Yes.
Cool. Axel becomes a polar bear. Zavros.
Bonus action, Hunter's Mark. I'm gonna cast
You already have Hunter's Mark on it.
No, I did Slayer's Prey.
Oh yeah, Hunter's Mark is from.
That's the Slayer's Prey isn't a spell that
Well, I
requires concentration, but favored foe is. So that
Yeah, Night Hunter has
okay, yeah.
Hunter's Mark. Right? That's what
I have
it is.
Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
So it's double Hunter's Mark right now.
Yeah. And I'm going to shoot at it.
All right.
Yeah,
Give it a
give me a
shot.
nat 1, baby. I got a fucking 18.
You
No,
hit?
you have advantage on him because he's stunned.
Oh,
You do have
sweet.
advantage on
I got
this.
23.
Right.
All right, so I'm gonna roll my
Yeah, I'm out.
Hunter's Mark there, and then my Slayer's Prey. I think it's a 1d6.
That
It's been
sounds right.
so long. Yeah, 1d6. Let me roll that real quick. Move out my way, Zavros.
Move out my way.
That's shitty.
Do you have anything else to add to that?
Maybe. You know what? Fuck it. At this point, it doesn't even matter. I only attacked once last time, so I'll throw another 1d6 on there.
Okay.
Not even gonna hide it anymore.
So that's a total of 13,
Shooting
17,
damage.
17 damage, which isn't bad.
I've done better with the sneak attack.
Yeah, so that is, he also has sneak attack added onto that for...
I've had sneak attack for quite a while.
Ooh.
That's why it's like, oh, you get more spells and an extra attack. I'm like, no, I don't.
That's why I had to make sure that we were level 5 and not level 6, because Valres would also have sneak attack.
You're both rogue rangers. The classic. All right,
The classic, baby.
next in line, Shinar is just going to stay there, take her dodge. All right, over to the fort.
The cave group is so much quicker in their combat.
Because they have
Lot less-
one
lot
enemy.
less things to do.
There's not 20 enemies.
Yeah, well, you guys cleared out a lot of the goblins that last round, so we're down to 6 on the wall, and 2 on wargs, and 6 on the Oliphant, 2 on the wall. So 2 will take shots at 6. I believe. I mean, I'm moving forward a little bit, but they can shoot from there to begin with. So they both shoot at 6. One got a 12, the other got a crit.
Do you just like am I the one who gets crit in this game?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
what?
that crit too. 8 damage from the crit.
Okay.
The other 6 are gonna shoot at your elk that are on the Oliphant. A 6, a 12. What's the AC on the elk?
14.
14. 13, 19, a 14, and a 17. So 3 of them hit.
Okay. You might take it out.
Yes, that's cocked. I'll re-roll it. 18 damage.
That was directly enough to poof.
The elk disappears, leaving
All
room
right.
for the Oliphant to move. And there are 6 more on the wall that are going to shoot at Liliana. Actually, no.
Bring it.
2 of them will shoot at Liliana. The other 4 are going to shoot at Stone here
Sweet.
for knocking a bunch of them off the wall.
Seeing us out just created a giant tidal wave that said, fuck your friends.
The 2 that shot at Liliana missed. What's the AC on Stone here?
It's really bad. I know that. It's 14.
Only one of them hits you.
Hell yes.
For a total of 7 damage. And then the 2 that are in front of Felicity and 6 are each going to take an attack with their scimitar.
Mine has disadvantage.
Yours has disadvantage. Yours. So roll 2 12s for 16 to hit.
Shield. So
Shield.
misses.
And then the second one's going to swing at you 6 and for a 22.
22 hits.
22 hits. For a total of 3 damage.
All right.
Lowest roll it could get. All right, and that brings us then to Felicity.
Mm-hmm. Felicity's not a melee fighter. I'm gonna use my action to shoot a firebolt at the warg in front of Pabu.
All right.
$14.
14 hits.
Alright. Nope, that's not. I rolled the wrong thing. For 18 damage.
18 damage. Yeah.
Yeah, 18. I think it's all fire damage, yeah. And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna shoot this goblin. No. Yeah. Because he was within range. If I were to shoot him with my cannon, would it be disadvantage?
Which one are you shooting?
The goblin right in front of me. I want to shoot him off of his warg. Is he too close? Would it be
He's too close.
disadvantage?
He's there because it's just to show that
Okay.
he's on the ward, but he's within your melee.
Then I'm gonna shoot one off of the big elephant.
Off the elephant.
In the
All right.
back.
It does have 1/4 cover. So it's got a little bit more AC, but it's still a goblin, so he'll probably hit it.
Dirty
Yeah, that'll
20.
hit it.
Okay. So it'll get knocked 5 feet back. And take...
Okay, it's gotta be half cover. They don't do 1/4.
take
And
and it'll take 2d8.
Okay, one will get
force
knocked off and
damage.
become a little bit bigger. And probably die to this.
Come on. Sorry, I had a lot of things in front of my buttons.
No worries. There's a lot of things on the screen.
14.
Yeah,
14 force damage.
again, you just incinerate another goblin as it goes flying off this Oliphant.
That's gonna be my turn. I'm gonna stay right here.
Sorry, did you... that was the end of your turn?
Yeah, that was my bonus action and my action.
My brain just shut off. I don't know what happened. Wolves, again, they're protecting the dying goblins on the wall. 6.
Allies can move through each other, right?
Yes. As long as you don't end the turn in an ally space, you can move amongst them.
6 looks over to 6 looks over to Felicity. I'm sorry I could not have done more. Thank you all for indulging me. I summon my flame elemental, my flame spirit, and that pops off right here. Sorry, right here.
It's not like he was about to self-destruct.
Yeah, I was worried for a second there.
That's what I was worried about.
I just grab onto their back and blow up, and it doesn't kill them. So there's my flame spirit. So I need a dex save from both wargs and both goblins.
The goblins, we got a 21 and a 14.
Okay.
Of the wargs, what is your dex? A 13 and a 19 from the wargs.
Okay, the one that got 13, because my DC was 14, will take 2d6 fire damage, 4 fire damage.
All right.
And then he is going to move right here. I'm so sorry. So that was my action. My bonus action is to command it. So then it'll be. Actually, I can move right here. No, because they get attack opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then I'll have it teleport. So Felicity in the Axe Speaks would feel it wanting to teleport. So if you choose to teleport with it, you can. But it can it's going to teleport itself and us 4 down here.
So the flame itself will be here?
Yeah. So we would be here, and then Felicity next to me. If Felicity doesn't want to move, she doesn't have to. But if she'd like to teleport, she'll be right then and there. So now...
Ooh, warm.
Within the 5 feet of the space to left. Oh, never mind. They were
you are in control of that flame now, by the way. The polar bear I can't give you control for. I don't know why.
That one was... Sorry, I did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. That is 6's turn. Stone here.
I'm gonna lean into Liliana and I'm gonna say, I'll follow your lead. And then I'm gonna hold my turn until after Liliana has went.
Alright. The warg's turn. First warg is going to attack Pabu. It's got that thing. That multi thing. What's that thing?
Oh, mirror
I
image.
think it has to roll to hit first mirror image. Until the spell ends, duplicate moves with you and mimics. You can use your action to dismiss each time a creature targets you with an attack during the spell's duration. Roll a d20 to determine whether attack instead targets one of your duplicates. If you have 3, I'm going to roll to see if it hits.
So you
first.
roll to see if it hits first.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do not, I believe, with only a 12.
Yeah, that misses. Woo.
So that warg misses. These two. Or move forward to both take a bite on each of you. Felicity's got a nat 1, so it misses. Six's got a natural 2, so it also misses.
Nice.
So they close the distance, but are unable to attack you. Pabu,
Okay.
your warg got pretty roasted by Felicity, so it's not looking great.
Right. Oh, I feel awkward about that thing up here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to for this turn, I'm just gonna pull out my 2 hand axes and chop at the warg.
Right.
First one for 5 slashing.
Misses.
Oh, sorry, 20. It's a 22 to hit for 5 slashing.
Then yes, that hits.
Is it still up?
It is still up.
Okay. Now I have to decide if I want to expel some resources. No, I'll just go straight for another hit and hope that it's enough. Fuck.
Misses.
And then how's Liliana look when I look over at her?
She is okay. I'm at. I have to search that page. 23 out of 35, so I'm not desperate.
Okay,
or anything
you,
like
you
that.
did heal up earlier a little bit, so
Yeah.
cool. All right then.
Put the warg between you and that big elephant. Yeah, she's telling you to walk around the warg so that it's in the way, not
I
you.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pabu kind of looks over at you. Oh, that is very smart. And then, we'll do that. I guess I would move this way. That'll be my turn.
That is your turn.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Is it worth it? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Speaking of the Oliphant, it is its turn. But fortunately, you guys have put enough ground in between it and you, and it's going to take its dead goblin with it. It will move to here as it's getting stabbed, and that is where it stops currently. As it comes rushing forward. Next in the order is the dead elk, which is now Liliana's turn.
Okay. Let me do some measuring. I believe. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Perfect. Yeah. So I am going to right about at the no, so that would be right here, right at this nice little point, right here. I look at the goblin chief who is cowering in the back, point and say, "You wanted the sun," and I'm going to cast Fireball.
All right. Who all does it hit?
It's going to hit both wargs, their goblins, the Oliphant, and all of its goblins.
Not this
Because
one.
it is a 20-foot radius, and so 40 feet across, that is 40 feet. Oh. Yeah, because I put
is
it...
this what you mean?
I put it here. On
For
this
some reason,
square.
I can't see your ruler.
Oh, I put it here. Sorry. So I should hit all of these guys, and then the... Oh, I won't hit that one. That's fine. I'll just hit this one warg.
Okay, just that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm more trying to kill the Oliphant and all of its...
Fair enough.
things.
So the 6 goblins on the Oliphant will make their saves first. We got an 11, a 21, a 22, a 12, a 17, and a 16. What's your save?
15.
15. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 that made it. So 2 of them. Well, and it's half damage. They're all dead. I'm just gonna delete them because I don't need dead goblins on my Oliphant, so I have to move all of them at the same time. All these goblins just... You see this burst of flame, and as it envelops the Oliphant and its goblins, the goblins just go shooting off like rockets covered in flame, falling to the ground dead. Now the goblin on the warg got a 14. I mean, they don't have to save. I don't know why I'm rolling for them. They're all dead. These goblins are just getting incinerated by this thing. We'll do the warg now. The warg got a nat 1 and also incinerates. It's just this enormous eruption of destruction. And now the Oliphant, who got a 17, so he takes half of that, which is
11.
11.
Not my greatest roll.
Yeah, so you see it kind of like turns its head so it doesn't get the brunt of it, but still gets singed pretty well. All right, but it is still looking pretty enraged. That, if anything, it made it matter as it's charging towards all of you. Speaking of making it matter, let's go over to these guys in the cave. Night Hunter.
Do we... Stonefurer held his turn until after mine.
That's correct. Let's resolve that.
I just realized my cover was still up, and I was like, wait a minute, where the fuck am I on the way up? Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pat. No, I'm kidding. How tall up is this cage right here?
Which cage?
Sorry. The cage to the west.
The one to the west has a person, or has a body in it being picked by ravens. The ravens have actually moved at this point, especially after that explosion. But it is 30 feet up. Yes, 30 feet.
Oh, so the cage is hanging from
Yes,
that
the cage is
bridge?
hanging. These 2 cages are hanging, yes.
Okay.
The other ones at the top, well, these ones are hanging as well. But the other 3 are on the ground.
All right, what I am going to do...
There's a very faint line showing that they're hanging.
I'm going to move my axe beak to be right in the center here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality.
All right, and what does that do for all of us?
Bam!
Wham!
Healing energy radiates from you in an aura with a 30-foot radius. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you. Centered on you, you can use a bonus action, cause one creature in the aura, including you, to regain 2d6 hit points. And I'm going to... Shit. Can I make a quick perception to see who's pretty damaged?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here.
18. 6 and Felicity, what are your HPs?
2.
Yep, I'm
Oh,
definitely
actually,
going 6. I knew 6 got hit pretty hard earlier, but I was
Yeah.
like, did he
He
get
did.
killed?
I took many slings and arrows.
2d6 straight towards 6.
All
It's like only taken 4 HP damage, so I'm good.
I've been crit several times.
So, 8.
8. Ooh,
8
I'm at
health.
You're at
Nice.
10. Yay.
Now we will return to the cave.
10. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. It is Night Hunter's turn. You have a stunned
Yes.
creature standing in front of you.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna shoot him with my longbow twice.
All right, with
Shoot.
advantage. 26 hits.
26. And a 27.
Will also hit. I keep clicking on his little lure instead of him.
Ooh.
20 damage. total.
12, 18, 20 damage total.
All right.
And Valrus is going to move again. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 feet away.
All right.
And
It is then Shadow Mind's turn.
Alright. Just stop startling yourself there, buddy. You don't need to. We're not really hurting your friend. We're just calming him down some. And then I'll swing at him. Again. Crit
That'll hit.
for 10 damage, and then I'm going to use a key point to stun him again.
What's your save?
13.
He, I believe, saves. Yeah, he saves.
Okay. Second hit.
15 misses.
No,
Or
23 because
he's-
he's
yeah.
already he's still stunned. So right, I wouldn't.
Is it
have
end of your
been-
turn or
wouldn't
start of
have
your
been-
turn?
It's end of my turn. So I
Okay,
wouldn't
so
have been
yep,
able
that'll
to
hit.
stun him again, anyways. I don't think. So 23 that hits for 4. Sorry, where am I at? And then the last hit, 23
23 will hit as well.
for another 8.
All right. And with that, he is no longer stunned.
I literally just don't know if it stacks or not. So I didn't want to like.
I think
Whatever.
typically I allow it. So if you want to, you can.
I said I would have. So if he didn't save, then if he saved, he saved. That's fine.
Okay. All right. I have to look down at my notepad, not at the screen. All right, it is the monster's turn, and actually, with your turn ending, he will use his legendary action for this turn, or everybody hears once again. Orlin, he's still punching me, and then the creature itself begins to scream this terrible scream, and I need a what is it? A charisma saving throw from everybody, please, including our invisible ranger.
oh no!
Yep.
Our weakness.
This is
Our
So
greatest
Orlin
weakness.
saves.
God damn it!
Oh, I saved? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you saved. Shadowmind, what is your HP?
30.
30.
You die. No, I'm
You take 10 psychic damage, and you are blinded for 2 rounds as this light begins to glow even brighter in your eyes. Zavros.
Yeah.
What?
What's up,
Uh,
dog?
It's Bumble. You had a question. Sorry.
Oh.
Blinded, and for how long was it?
2 rounds.
2 rounds. Okay.
Zavros, what is your HP?
43?
43. You take 10 psychic damage and you lose your reaction till the end of the monster's next turn.
Oh, cool. I don't have, like, fuck off for reactions
Yeah,
anyway.
that one's a little bit more lenient. Night Hunter, what is your HP?
39.
39. You take 20 points of psychic damage. And Axel, what is your HP?
My HP is also 43.
43. So you also take 10 points of psychic damage and lose your reaction. And now it is its
Ow!
turn. And on its turn, it will.
What, was that a legendary action?
Yeah.
Fuck that!
It's now going to. Actually, it's got to make some constitution things because it got punched a lot. And it passed all of them. It is now going to take its attacks, and it's going to turn to Shadow Mind, and it's going to lurch forward with this enormous mouth filled with teeth and try to bite him. For a 10 to miss, and then it'll take 2 swings with its claws. Another 10.
I thought I had horse feet.
It's got hands that
Okay.
swing with its claws. 18 to hit on the last swing.
hits.
And that will do a total of 13 damage to you.
13 damage to me. I'm gonna stone endurance.
There you go.
Oh, you know what? I should have stoned endurance, but I forgot.
So
Yeah, so it swings through you, and you feel your skin getting harder to reduce.
You feel what?
That. And it is now Orland's turn. Oh, Constitution saving throws from Zavros and still Night Hunter. For your Hunter's marks.
How do you know Ivan?
Love me, please. 17?
You're good?
21.
You're good. What did you say, Orlin? Sorry.
How do you know Ivan?
I am Ivan. You hear, everybody hears in their mind.
Your friend Ivan's a prick.
No, you're not. I'm gonna start shocking up my fingertips and trying to shock and grasp this thing. For 20?
Alright. A 20 hits.
15 lightning.
15 lightning. Let me check on you. Yeah, that's good.
then
15
I-
lightning.
Use my movement to move beyond the line.
And it can't take a reaction because of shocking grass,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
Alright. It is rough terrain.
Yeah, I only moved 15.
Works for me then. It is then Axel's turn, who is a polar bear.
Pissed off polar bear. Okay.
Stop, polar bear.
I am going to take a bite and take a claw.
Both hit.
So that's 17 damage. And then another 13 damage, so that is 30 damage total.
30 damage total.
And then, just being absolutely pissed off, I'm going to action surge, and I'm going to do that again.
Alright.
13.
Bite misses.
16.
Claw misses.
I don't know why I use my action surge, because it never works. Just real silly. Just a real silly, goofy mood. That's everything I can do.
At the end of your turn, it will take its reaction. And it
Oh, wait.
turns to shadow.
Reaction? Does
You
it?
can't do that, you're right.
You can't do that.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest. Next in line then is Zavros.
I shoot this motherfucker.
Go for it.
Oh, that's Maroke. Please? Fuck.
Misses.
Oh, yeah, that's how it be.
That's how it be sometimes.
That's how it be. Stun this motherfucker, Duncan.
Shinar will dodge. Next is over at the fort. We have the goblins that are left, which is not a lot. There's 2 on the back wall and 6 on the front wall. The 6 on the front wall are going to, again, I'll shoot at Liliana. 'Cause why wouldn't you?
Again, one's going to have disadvantage, because I'll use my thingy-majiggy.
I rolled it also. I will roll the highest one as a reroll.
Appreciate
I
it.
just threw it. So that makes that one a miss. What's your AC again? 16?
16.
You get 4 hits on you.
Okay.
That's pretty bad roll.
For you or me.
17 damage.
Okay.
And then the 2 on the back wall. They want to keep the Oliphant moving, so they're both going to shoot at the Oliphant. Both of them hit, one of them crit. So 8 from that goblin and 4 from the other, doing a total of 12 damage to keep the elephant enraged, or the Oliphant enraged. And it is then going to be Felicity's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action first to shoot the warg by Pabu.
Okay.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna shoot the elephant. I'm just gonna shoot the elephant.
Okay.
No, it's not gonna miss. It's not gonna hit.
It misses.
Um,
Goes wide.
so then I'll use my action to firebolt it.
Oliphant again.
Yeah.
Alright.
19
will hit.
For 9 damage total.
Or 9 damage total. As this thing it starts to rear from the pain that it hit it in the back, you hit it in the side of the neck, and it turns back to continue charging. It was 9. And I believe that's your turn, correct?
Yes, that's my turn.
6.
Would I know him as Marok or Stone here?
It's up to Tommy.
Probably Marok. Stone here, I'd probably keep that with like the Goliaths, who know like Stone here is kind of like a title thing.
So like you can kind of see like the light that kind of like glows of like almost like heat, like a furnace in him, was like kind of like waning a lot, and then you like approach him and then it like sparks up just a little bit more, so it's not as waning. Thank you, Marok. I think you've helped me buy enough time here.
I just healed metal. I've seen it all.
No, I believe it is the spirit in which has been invigorated. And with that, I conjure another huge elk.
Marok has seen nothing like you before, so he is very confused on how you work.
Let me go find my elk. Paste him and make him a size bigger. I assume right in front of the Oliphant again, right?
Yeah. And then I gotta roll his initiative. 13.
13, so he moves. Who's the closest in the number? The wargs. He would move before the wargs and after Stone here? Yes, after Stone here.
Okay. So that, and with the bonus action, I'm gonna have yeah, I'm gonna have the fire. I'm gonna command the fire mantle to transport us again. So
right.
5, 10, 15. So right here.
All right, you have control of him.
Oh, that's right, I do.
Where did that light come from?
So
It's
the rest
from
of us
Stone here.
Move back down if we'd like.
What?
Yes, but Felicity and Stone here can teleport around where that little light is.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you just
sweet.
be moving.
Would I be right here? Since where would I be at?
You were like one over the right.
One over? Okay.
Yeah. So we just poof away a bit, and then I can have it move, and I'm gonna have it move right here.
All right. Does the teleport do the dexterity save, or is it when it's summoned?
Both, but it only the teleport also. It would be
where it
people
lands?
who were within 5.
Because the warg wasn't with her.
Where it was 5 feet of where it left, which we're not actually.
Fair enough. Then it would be Stone Hero's turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action with my vitality stuff, and I'm going to throw it at Liliana this time. Just because I feel like that elk might be able to stave off some bullshit. Okay, Liliana, here you go. It's a shitty roll.
Oh.
For 4 health, Felicity. Or Liliana, sorry.
Yeah.
I just noticed Liliana's down your or no. And I kept hearing that. I don't know why I thought Felicity. Action from
Thank you.
Let's see. Is that a bonus? So with spells, if I use a spell to do it, well, I mean, this is a concentration spell, so no.
You get to use 1 spell slot on your turn. Your bonus action vitality does not count as a spell slot.
But it's a concentration. I wonder if
It
he's
is
thinking of another concentration spell.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what? This is not a concentration spell. It's one of the only ones I don't have. I'm gonna use fucking ice knife.
Fucking ice knife.
Oh no.
Ice knife is what kills everybody in there.
Don't have a great history with that one.
What's the range on this? 60. Okay. Well, it's far enough away. It shouldn't hurt y'all. I'm gonna do it at that. I'm gonna aim it at that warg. So technically,
You can hit in the ass and it won't hit Pabu, yeah?
no. So the warg with the
Oh, the
goblin
one with
on
the
it.
gobbo. Even
Yeah.
better.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast this motherfucker.
So 14 will hit the warg.
Okay.
To do 5 piercing, and then they have to both make a save or take the cold damage. I'm gonna roll them separately because they're separate things. I shouldn't roll them at the same time. So goblin first. Goblin passes. Warg fails. So the warg will take the 10 damage.
Hell yeah.
All right. With that, it is then the elk's turn.
Okay. This is kind of... Do I risk it? No, I don't think that'll help. I don't think that's gonna help. It's just gonna hit it.
9 misses.
9.
It misses.
It misses. That's it.
All right. Well, actually, it's the warg's turn. And the warg is going to continue chasing. Oh, the dead warg's coming with. Get back there. And it's going to attempt to attack Felicity. It rolled pretty bad. The warg's not doing great this fight.
And
it got
is
a
advantage.
14.
Is that it with
an
the
8 or a 9? Sorry.
Okay. No, a 9 misses.
So, and the other warg will attack Babu, but we gotta see if it hits first. It got a 15, which I believe
That
misses.
would just
right?
hit.
Just hit. So then you have to roll your
d20.
d20. Or the mirror image.
13. What do I have to roll at least? I think it's...
I think you got a pretty good chance when you have all 3 of them.
Yeah, let me just... mirror image here.
If you have 3 duplicates, you must roll a 6 or higher.
A 6 or higher. Yep. All right, so it hits one of my duplicates.
All right. So 1 duplicate is gone.
All right. So I'll just delete one of those.
And now it's 8 or higher. After the warg is Pabu.
Okay. I am going to just try to attack back with a hand axe.
Okay.
15 for 1 slash.
Oh my god, Pabu! It's still there.
It's still alive. Okay.
You did 1 damage, my dude.
I know. I have a question for you. I have extra attack, but I can't remember if that was the helmet that we gave back or not.
That was the helmet. Was for
It
the
was
extra
from-
surge.
It was the helmet. Okay. But I don't have that anymore. So I will use my bonus action to attack with my offhand hand axe for 4 slashing, and use my defensive flourish on it.
Which
is
fill
going to
me in.
add what?
Fill me in on that. Sorry.
Okay, it's going to add my bardic inspiration to my attack plus my something. Let me see.
Don't bother. Because you've been fighting this warg for so long, how do you kill this one?
In the griffin.
This whole time, Pabu's been like, I don't really want to do this. I love animals, and he's smacking at it with his hand axes until eventually he just mans up and hits one into its back, and it yelps out and collapses. I do still want to roll really quick. I have a D8, right, for bardic inspiration at level 5.
I mean, the 4 slashes is more than enough. You don't.
I know,
need to
but
add
it's
your
for
flourish.
the defensive flourish.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
go
get
ahead.
bonus stuff for it. It is an
Yeah, go
8,
ahead.
right? A D8.
Yeah,
I don't
at
know
this
anything
level,
about
it should
bards.
be. I
Okay,
think.
so I get 3 added on my AC until the start of my next turn, or end of my next
Oh,
turn.
yes, it is AC.
Start.
There you
So
Alright.
after that's dead, I'm gonna run 50 movement. I'm gonna run up over here.
right up to it. All right, let's get it on. All righty.
Pabu, no!
It is
What are you
Grizlocke's turn.
doing, little
Luckily
one?
for you, it's got its mind on something else currently. Actually, let me see. Let me see if it can do something here that I would like it to do.
Pabu's about to get yeeted across this battlefield.
Actually, I think you
Where's
guys are far
Pabu's
enough away.
HP?
26 currently.
Okay, that thing can one-shot you.
Oh well.
Okay, luckily you're in a position where it can't hit you at the same time as the elk. It's going to sweep its tusks up forward and smash into the elk. The elk needs to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Ooh, all right. This is gonna be I don't think they have proficiency on saves, so
Probably not.
it's just a dex check for him.
Hey.
Crit? No, it's 23. This one's more nimble.
Yeah, I mean, you still take half. Pabu, I'm going to let you in on a little secret since you're being so bold with this elephant. This attack does 10d6.
Okay.
You're watching the power of beasts fight at each other. The megafauna of
He wants to get close to look at him. All right, so let's see how much half damage is from 10d6. We got 5, 10, 13, 15, 21, 23, 25, 30, 31, half to 15.
Oh, okay.
Papa's
So-
like, I love animals. He immediately runs up to the Oliphant.
As it sweeps its 4 tusks across this elk, knocks around a little bit, but it's able to avoid most of the damage from that. And that is its action, so it is now Leon's turn.
Okay, if I take like a couple steps backwards, can I get cover from the wall archers? If I'm like underneath the gate?
You can get underneath them.
Perfect. Ooh, it is. How is the ward looking in front of Felicity?
It is looking pretty beat up.
Okay. I am going to send... I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Right.
That's a 2nd level spell. Just double check that. Yes. I'm going to send 1 ray towards the warg in front of Felicity, and then the other 2 at the Oliphant.
All right. Roll them dice.
Yes. Oh, are you gonna work? Please work. Oop, 1. Oh,
20 will hit.
Yeah.
You're rolling them secretly, by the way, I believe.
Yeah, I had that on accident because I was healing myself, and we had moved on to the
enough.
other page.
For 7, it doesn't take him down.
Well, the other 2 are already going towards the Oliphant.
Yep. A crit. And another hit. So for a total of 27. Is that right? 27 damage?
Yes, 27 damage.
All right. This Oliphant isn't slowing down quite yet. Still seems pretty enraged, and this is only making it matter.
I mean, if anything, Pablo's a fool for running up there. Pablo isn't my problem.
Pablo's got some guts.
It's hard to run the show and play, especially 2 characters. So,
Hey, fair enough.
You're fine, Grizz.
Yeah, you're switching layouts. I mean, hands up to Grizz for his birthday.
Yeah, I'll save
Working
a
as hard as I am.
spot.
Really. All right.
That's it, though.
Speaking of making Grizz do work, back to the other group. And starting with Night Hunter.
Ow. She's gonna. I'm gonna make sure I'm on the right one. A whole bunch of damage. What is she gonna do? She's probably just gonna shoot him.
All right.
Twice. 2.
23
23. And that one's gonna miss. 12.
12 will miss. The first one does hit.
Alright.
For 11 total.
13
13.
total. With Hunter's Mark.
And
And I'm gonna move back 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. I think. Yeah,
Alright.
that's gonna be it.
With that, we have another legendary action. And once again, as it begins to shriek and its light begins to grow, I need Christmas saves from everybody.
Oh,
Are you
shit.
sure he doesn't want to do this
Is that
after my
not?
turn?
No.
What about Dex?
He
Can
just
we do
got
it
shot by
Dex?
something he can't see. He's lashing out. It's charisma, baby.
Ah,
Fuck!
Oh.
16?
You pass Felicity. Zavros, what's your HP?
130. It's 33.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're at 33?
yeah.
You take 20 psychic damage.
Sweet.
Orlin, what are you at?
29.
You take 10 points of psychic damage and you're blinded for 2 rounds. And I believe Shadow Mind is also under that, so you take 10 more points and you are already blinded, so it doesn't affect you any further.
Okay.
Olin, fuck your cave. Let's leave.
Orlin, what's hitting me? And then that will be Orlin's turn. Actually, no, wait. That was the legendary action. It's Shadow Mind's turn.
Shadow Mind's turn. So he gets again in like just this painful thing to that like twice in 6 seconds for him. Like just like 2
Yeah,
shrieks,
You were
blinds
right in front
it,
of it,
like
too.
fucks him up, blinds him. He like does not look good. He is like woozing and wobbling. I didn't think I'd get to go down in a fight. It's been too long. I'm not what I used to be. Oh, you young'uns still have something to go for, though. And then he, like, summons the darkness in him. Like, his runes light up. And then pinpointed on here is a silence spell.
Alright. There's
That's 20 feet radius.
20-foot radius. Pinpointed on the center.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I can't see anything, so I'm just, like, right in front of him. Just.
So Zavros is in it, and so is Axel. You just hear absolute silence fill this area.
So
And
Orlin. So Orlin would have to step. Yeah. So just silence. Boom. And that's it.
The only sound you hear is the sound of Ivan in your mind, crying out to Orlin to help him.
Am I in the silent zone? I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
So you'd have to
Yeah.
step out if you want to do.
You have to step
verbal
like
spell.
5 feet back.
All right. It is this creature. With shocking grasp? Is it at the end of your turn? It can take reactions again, or at the end of its turn? I mean, it doesn't
That's
matter.
a good
'cause
question. Let me double check that.
It kind of matters, I guess.
When I hit the target, takes 1d8 lightning, and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Okay, so it can take reactions again. But for its turn, it is just going to. I should probably have its character sheet up to do things with. It will take its attacks on the boy Shadowmind. So let me check with blinded. I know you have advantage.
You have
Blinded,
advantage.
you can't see and automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. Attack rolls against this creature do have advantage.
Sure.
Yep.
You sure it doesn't want to attack the big polar bear that's munching on his butt?
Let me roll something. Because you are blinded. Yeah. It sees you're blinded and it's going to turn and attack the polar bear. The first one is a 17 to hit.
That will hit the polar bear because I only have an AC of 12.
The polar bear. And that is actually a different dice. I need a bigger dice for this. For a total of 12 damage.
Sir Sharp, is this
Yes.
magical damage?
It's not, but you're a polar bear, not a hybrid.
Oh, that's only in hybrid form.
Yes.
Never mind then.
So you take that as well as 9 poison or acid damage. Sorry.
Okay, I totally forgot then it was 12 and 9.
Yep, 12 and 9.
Okay.
You can still use your Stone's Endurance if you haven't yet. By the way, for these next 2 attacks that are coming at you, or this one that just happened. Up to you.
Yeah. I have not used it, so I'm going to.
Okay.
Ooh, 12. Oh.
And then the first claw attack is a 14 to hit.
That will hit.
for a total of 12 damage.
Okay.
And second claw is only a 11.
11 misses.
There you go. So it turns around, the water swirling around it as it bites into you. You feel this acid dripping from its fangs, and then it slashes you once, but you're able to pull away before it gets you with the second claw. Orlin, it is your turn.
Gonna stumble back 5 feet. Okay, and then I'm going to. I really can't do anything because I'm blind, and all my spells kind of require me seeing stuff.
You're blind, aren't you? You can take disadvantage attacks on it.
True. Is it worth taking disadvantage attack or just?
And it is silent, so you couldn't even hear where it is.
Right. Disadvantage. I'll attempt to shoot a ray of sickness in its direction. Let's try it. Fuck it. 12. Fuck.
12 misses.
Should have done my other thing. Shit. Okay. Yeah. Then that's it.
All right. Let me see something. I changed one thing to another thing, and it kind of messes with it. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Okay, cool. Axel.
Okay. I'm going to do my 2 attacks again. So bite, claw. Son of a bitch.
Both miss.
Both miss?
Both miss.
Cool. I'm then going to do my second wind.
All right. And Zavros.
Fun times. You know what? If I die, I die. I'm moving back 15 feet.
All right.
And I'm just gonna fire off at this thing. Do I need to do a con save?
Yes, you do.
Oh, was I supposed to make one at the end of my turn too, or?
Yeah, I lost it.
I don't think you're holding any
Oh, okay.
spell.
Sorry, I was thinking it was for
Yeah, you lose Hunter's Mark.
effect.
Okay, well, bonus action, Hunter's Mark. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it. It's like, oh, I'll lose it. Thank goodness that's the only spell I really use. Let's see. Wrong fucking character sheet. There we go. And I fire away and miss.
You do
God
miss.
damn it!
Oh, yikes, guys. Shannara, it's Master Zavros. Do you want me to step in?
Can you kill this thing in one hit?
No.
Stay there for now.
All right.
You must tell our stories to the next group.
All right. With a lot of misses, we move over to the fort. Which
Wait, did you call me Master Zavros?
Yeah.
Stop calling me that!
Goblins go first. The top two, again, they want this Oliphant mad. They both miss. So that's just 2 arrows fire wildly, and this Oliphant's thrashing around with the elk. The arrows miss. And then the other 6. Let's see how they do this. I'm going to roll a d4 for each of them. To see who they choose to shoot at. I'm going to throw d4s on the ground, and I'll never see that one again.
Did you mean a D5? They've got a wildfire spirit going on.
Yeah, I can roll a d5. Actually, I would still roll d4 because there's only 4 of you there.
How about a D9 because of our birds?
No. I have not been targeting the birds because I killed all your birds and made you pay money for them. But if you want me to start shooting your birds.
I just gotta say, if we die, the birds are gone anyway.
That's true. They could just eat the birds. So 2 of them go after the fire spirit. 3 of them go after Stone Hearer, and 1 goes after Felicity. So the 2 for the fire spirit. Why did I
13.
instantly forget where the 13 for the AC?
Yeah.
One of them hits. God, the goblins just like I had the goblins memorized, and then they just left my brain. 5 damage to your spirit.
Okay.
3 against stone hearer. What's your AC again?
14 is going to be stone here.
2 of them hit. For 12 damage. Roll a Constitution saving throw. Roll 2 Constitution saving throws. They both have to be above 10, or 10 or higher, I should say.
Well, yes.
Yep. You keep your aura, and then the last one is for Felicity.
12 damage.
Nat 20.
Disadvantage for blur.
That's right. Miss. And that's the goblins. So it is then Felicity's. No, there's one goblin left right in front of Felicity, and it's going to swing at her with disadvantage, which I missed. It is Felicity's turn.
Felicity is going to probably just did a stupid thing. Is going to shoot at the elephant with her ballista first, her force ballista. For a dirty 20.
On the Oliphant will hit.
So it'll get pushed back 5 feet. And
Is that for certain sized creatures?
It just says if it hits a creature, it gets pushed back 5 feet, and then it's 2d8.
Damn, that's the direction I was going.
And it'll take 11 force damage.
All right.
And do I? I'm just gonna firebolt the. I'm gonna firebolt one of the this goblin up here up top.
Okay. That'll hit.
24. For 14 fire damage.
That's a dead goblin. All right. It is then gonna be Six's turn.
I don't like this.
Okay. Let's see. What are my... For my main action, I am going to Scorching Ray the elephant.
Alright.
Let's see.
Hit. Sorry, I saw I roll again. Woof, done.
Yeah. Yeah, so I need 2 more.
That's a hit, and that's a miss.
Miss.
2 hits
so,
won't be a crit, though.
So 5 plus 18. That's 23 fire damage.
23 fire damage. All right. It begins to stumble for a second as it's taking all these hits, but it's still looking to try and spar with this elk, basically.
Okay. So then, right after my turn, as a bonus action, commanding the spirit. The spirit's going to teleport us again. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. So 5, 10. 5, 10. Oh, I can't do that shit. 5, 10, 15. So, Felicity, if you want to come with, you'd be in between me and Stone here.
Yeah, she will. Not that it makes much difference. She
Okay.
will.
Now I need a dex save throw from the goblin and the warg.
Alright.
We have to beat a 14.
The goblin failed, and the warg failed.
Alright, so you guys will take 8 fire damage each.
8 fire damage. They both die.
Okay. Now the elk.
The elk has its own turn, right?
Oh yeah.
It goes after Stone Hero, so it's almost his turn, but Stone Hero goes first.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'm going to. Shift to be under this bridge. And I'm going to go ahead and fuck. I don't know who's worse off. I know Liliana got a hit. I'm gonna shoot another one towards Liliana.
I've got pretty good cover under here. If you want to heal 6 or someone else.
I'll go with because I know I only healed 6 for 8, and he was at 10 earlier.
What happened to 7?
7, 8,
got put in
9.
7, 8, 9, bro. So he gets all the good heals.
9.
Yeah. There you go.
And
So I went into the gate.
actions from you.
Let's see. What is the distance on this? Yeah, so I can't hit that. I don't think I can hit it with my ice knife because that's like the only fucking spell I can do that's not concentration.
There are goblins on the wall behind you still, if you want.
Oh, that is true. And it's got a 6-foot range. I'm going to go after one of the goblins on the, I want to say the west. Let me double check that. That is also 30 feet up though.
I'll allow you to hit him. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the one over the goblin that's not next to a wolf on the west side.
So this one.
The middle one. Yeah.
Roll to hit.
Bow.
Bow.
My computer's acting so crazy right now.
So it does 4 damage, but it passes the dex save, so it just does 4 damage
Damn.
on fort.
Then,
Oh,
yeah,
right. Now it's the elk's turn.
All right. I don't think that's a good idea. So I'll just have him go forward towards him. Because I assume his reach is like at least 10 feet.
At least, yeah.
So he just moves forward and he attacks.
All right.
23 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 6 damage as he rams him with his horns.
All right. With that, the wargs are all dead, so they are out of initiative now. It is Pabu's turn.
Sweet. I am gonna go around the back of this thing.
All right.
I am going to stretch out my arm and cast Bane on the elephant.
All right. What kind of save?
I don't. Is it a save?
Is
It
it
is.
is
Charisma.
mirror
I think it's
image
charisma.
concentration?
Oh, it's charisma. Yeah, charisma save.
Is mirror image concentration?
No, it's not.
Shouldn't be.
Oh, very cool. Charisma, you said?
Yep.
It fails terribly.
Sweet. Now it's baned, as well as the 2 goblins behind, if I could.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I can get up to 3.
They both fail as well.
Sweet. Cool. Everybody banged.
Fine.
Let me put a little concentration thing.
The little screaming guy is a bane. Oops.
Amy?
I don't think you can get that other goblin.
The far
king.
one.
Or
What's
this
the
one, yeah.
distance? 30 feet.
I think you're like
shit.
25.
Okay, let's...
Or I think you're like 5 feet off.
Yeah, you're right. Ah, fuck. Okay. Well, I'll move. I'll move this way and cast
Yeah, that's fair.
it. It's still probably out for. No, okay. Well, how far up is this guy?
It's
Probably.
fine. At this point, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, fine. All right. Yeah, I banned those guys. And then I am just going to do nothing after that because I can't. If I have to take the attack action, I'll use a bonus offhand attack. So.
Yep.
I think so. I can't do anything else.
Oliphant's
Yeah.
turn. It's going to roll to see if it can bring back its sweep. It does not. So it is just going to take its attack with a D4 minus. Yeah, first it's going to try to gore this elk for a 28 minus 3 to 25 to hit.
That hits.
And that's 5d8. Alright, come here, d8s. One, 3, 5, 13, 15 plus 8 to be 23 damage.
All right, still up.
Still up. And as it brings its tusks in to gore the elk, it swings around and attempts to wrap its trunk around young Pabu. It's in... what's your trunk to hit? 21 to hit.
Yeah, that would hit. Let me
Roll your d20. Has to be above an 8, or an 8 above.
There we go.
18, yeah. It tries to grab, and it almost grabs the... or it grabs the mirror image instead, and tries to lift it, but it disappears. You down to 1 mirror image. It is then going to be... Leonna's turn.
Okay. So. I need wait.
Oh, did it? Wouldn't have mattered with the Bane, but
Oh, yeah. The most it would have taken it down to is
4.
17 or something, yeah.
What was the total roll?
21.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to have my axe beak run me up to here, which I believe is 50 feet. Yes. So then I am within 60 feet, and I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon right here, next to the Oliphant. It's right here, just a little
Just a little
sun-shaped.
guy. Let's see what I can do for a spiritual weapon for you. How about this? How about a spiritual orc?
Sure, I'll take a spiritual orc.
He's back!
He's back!
Oh,
Oh no!
where'd this motherfucker come from?
And then, as part of that bonus action, I can make an attack with it. Spiritual weapon. Ooh,
17
to
hits.
hit. Perfect. So that's 5 force damage, and then I need... I'm going to use my action then, because that was a bonus action, to do a Sacred Flame. I need a Dexterity saving throw from the Oliphant, please.
I was 9.
Okay, so it's going to take 2d8 radiant damage.
Oof! That's some damage.
And then I'm going to have my axe beak dash and bring me back underneath the gate.
Fair enough.
Never mind.
Yeah, like the spirit. What does your spiritual weapon look like?
I think right now it just looks like... I think it would just look like a sun, like the head of the mace without like the handle on it, so just this rotating orb of spiky sun.
So it turns to try and grab Pabu with its trunk and misses as it takes away one of the mirror images, and then the spiky sun starts spinning into it, and you set it ablaze with your sacred flame, and it starts to stumble, but it's just barely holding itself up.
I
And we
do have
switch
a question.
Yes,
Sacred Flame and Spiritual Weapon in the same turn.
yes. Sacred flame's a cantrip, spiritual
Yes.
weapon's a spell, and it's a bonus action spell, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes, spiritual weapon is a bonus action
Mhm.
to cast and control on that first turn. Sacred flame is an action and a cantrip.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so can't. Okay.
Back to the cave.
Where we die?
You might on this
Let's-
turn. Night Hunter.
I'm gonna shoot him a couple of times
Oh,
again,
Lord.
because that's all rangers do. Ooh, good thing I have advantage. 25
25 hits.
and
25
25.
hits. 17
Get all the
plus
damages.
21 plus 26 total damage.
26 damage. And then I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet in another direction.
As its reaction for the turn, everybody in their head hears the screaming of a small boy, and the whole monster's head turns, but specifically the light lure turns to look at Zavros. He says, "You're friends with Orlin. Help him not. They're hurting me. Help." Make a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck. Hey, I'm bad at these.
20.
See,
Yeah,
I
you
get a
see-
+7, and I always roll like a fucking 5 or lower, but I got like a 1, and it's like, here you go.
Voice of this innocent boy is, you're looking at the lure, but you see past the lure to the monster that's behind it still.
I
And
can
you are
be
able to hold it
Orlin's
off.
only friend.
Yeah, it's like that's cold.
Shadow Mind, this is your last turn of being blind.
This might be my last turn. I swing at him.
Alright, do with disadvantage.
Of course.
Only one person has the ability to heal. Well, no, I think Zavros can.
Miss. Miss.
13?
13 misses.
Nice. All right.
They all miss. It is then going to be its turn. And fortunately enough, you miss, so it turns back to go after this polar bear that's been attacking it.
Okay.
The bite attack.
This
which is
plan
the big
isn't as
bear.
good because
Nat 1 on the bite.
Ooh.
Claw. Nat 1. The last claw it does hit though.
Okay.
For a total of 14 damage.
Okay. Still up.
Yeah, and that is its turn. As yeah, that's fine. Orlin.
Okay. So we're blind for 2 turns, right? Sorry.
Yes. So this is your second turn now of being blind, right?
Yeah. I am going to just attempt to do a fuck, that's all I can do is another Ray of Sickness with disadvantage.
Right.
Fuck. 9.
Gonna miss. It will miss. Any bonus actions or movement from you?
I'll just continue to stumble around, I guess. I'll go over there.
It's going to take its legendary action, and fortunately it can't use the big bad one because it's silent. But the water once again rises, and I need a strength saving throw from Shadow Mind.
All right. Okay.
You are pulled out into the water, but fortunately, you can swim, but your movement is halved, and attacks at disadvantage.
Okay.
All right. It is then going to be Axel's turn. Yes.
Okay. I have one question.
Yeah.
Can I, using my movement, swim and scoop underneath Shadow Mine so he's riding me so he maybe doesn't have disadvantage on his attacks?
I'll allow that.
Perfect. Just like
Shadow Mind,
scoop
you
up
just
underneath
feel
him.
this furry creature come up from underneath you and start lifting you from the water.
I immediately stunning strike.
Die, feral beast!
And then I'm going to bite and claw this nasty thing. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Both miss. All
Cool.
right. We have a Goliath riding a polar bear in the water. Both of them missing. Zavros.
Yeah. I'm just gonna shoot this thing.
Actually, it did get hit. It's gonna make another. Oh.
17?
17 hits.
Thank God. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll my 3d6s.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Hunter-
no.
Hunter mark a
Hunter's
D4,
mark
right?
is- Yeah. Fuck.
Just re-roll them.
Okay. I actually have a thing for Hunter's Mark, so I can just double click it on here. No, it says Hunter's Mark is a 1d6.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then we'll take your first roll. All right. Yeah, your arrow hits this thing in the back, and it thrashes. You can't hear it doing anything, but it is thrashing.
Fuck you, and I'm gonna. I fucking just say fuck you. I'm his only friend. It's like, okay, that'll be the end of my turn.
All right.
There can only be one of us.
Shinar.
Pull out a sword, gotta cut its head off.
Back to the fort. Things are getting there, guys. Things are getting there. We're looking good now. These stupid goblins. Pavu has moved close enough to them, so they're both gonna shoot at Pavu with their bane on him. Yikes. One got a 12.
Okay, that misses.
The other got a 10.
That misses.
Big bane, baby. And then how many are on the wall still? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop, almost through. 5. Though again, we'll roll d4s to see who they hit out of the 4 of you hanging out there. Felicity, and Stonier. So 3 at Felicity, 1 at Stonier.
Those 3 are at disadvantage?
I need 1 more. And Stonier. So 3 at disadvantage. First one, nat 1. Second one at Felicity, 13.
Shield.
Shield. All right.
So it misses.
And the last one at Felicity is 17.
Misses.
Misses. Cool. Okay, then 2 for Shadow Mind.
Shadow Mind.
Sorry, Stonier. Miss and 12.
Miss.
Miss. All goblin miss. It is then going to be Felicity's turn.
Yeah, let me just double check the range. It's still in range. I'm gonna first use my bonus action. I'm gonna shoot this the far goblin
Other goblin.
with my force ballista. 23.
Okay.
So it gets knocked off. It gets knocked back 5 feet.
All right.
And takes 10 force damage.
Dead.
And then I'm gonna shoot the one next to it with yeah, I'm gonna shoot the one next to it with a firebolt.
All right.
Probably just gonna miss. 14.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, miss.
okay.
Sorry, I have 15.
Oh.
Whoops. All right.
Ignore that.
6.
Okay, I am going to Scorching Ray the big beast again.
All right. Hit, miss.
Miss.
2 hits.
Okay. 2 hits. 15 fire damage.
6. How do you take down the Oliphant?
So yeah, after playing chess here, hopping around back and forth, I basically, yeah, I mean, I just launch all fire as I can, like trying to avoid, and like have it try to like weave around. One just completely goes off the rail, distracting it as the other 2 like smashes into the side of its face, scorching it and taking it down, I guess. Incinerating half its face like it's Raiders of the Last Ark.
I like how you went. I just like, and you just throw your hands out on screen. I thought that's where it was gonna end. I was like, oh my god.
Probably this thing had just wheeled around to try and pick you up in its trunk, and you see these blasts hit it in the back, and it goes down to its knees at first, and then continues to fall forward, and just tusk and trunk falling all around you as it hits the ground, and is dead.
So the fire spirit's just gonna move. He doesn't have any other things he's got to do. So
All right, cool. Stonier.
I ice knife our entire group.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna do my spirit on or my vitality on 6.
Okay.
And then for my shit, let me double check that because I might have just fucked up. Damn it, I did fuck up. Oh well.
Am I
yeah.
healed or no?
No, you're healed.
Okay.
But I was gonna do healing word over to Liliana, but I was like, that's a bonus action.
That'll do it.
Yeah, so that'll be my turn.
All right. What does your elk do?
The elk is going to charge this upper area, charge this balcony thing, try to knock it down. I don't know, like what the
What this one?
scenario. Yeah, like I don't know. So is this just like a balcony or?
Yeah,
Where
like
did-
there's a wall behind it there. You can charge it if you want to. What's the elk's movement speed?
50.
50. So I don't think it can make it all the way there.
10, 15, 20.
How high up is that balcony thing?
I guess it can. Yeah. It's 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
That
want-
would be 50 right there.
Yeah, if you want to make an attack against the wall.
Okay. Cool. He's gonna do that. Try to do some shit to it. I don't know. 13.
Do
I don't know
some
what we're looking for.
damage. Do some damage.
All right. And because he charged, he also did I get it?
Yeah, this.
So that'd
this
be
elk
12.
Just, this elk just puts a hole in the wall, and I'll make them do dex saves to stay up there. Both of them do pass.
Okay.
With the Bane?
Um,
Or
with Bane?
Is that only on attack rolls?
I think no, it's on saving throws as
To be
well.
fair, the
Yeah,
giant
saving
elk's
throws,
DC is DC 14 for like knocking things prone when he hits them.
Yeah, I mean,
So I just
t-
wanna know where you're at.
so they both go prone, but they do stay up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
There's also now a giant elk you can climb.
Mhm.
yeah, if you want to climb this giant elk. Sorry, I'm just getting the prone conditions on people. The elk just went, so it's Pabu's turn.
Okay. I'll just ride this way, and what can I do to get up here? I probably couldn't this turn, right? I started
If you
here
make an
and then-
athletics, you have to climb. You could climb the
15.
elk and then try to climb the wall. If you do an athletics check, a certain DC will get you on the elk, and even higher DC will get you up the wall.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see how far up I can get. Let's athletics.
You're
is
at
up?
least starting on an axe beak too.
11.
That's true. You are on an axe beak. 11 would get you on the elk.
Okay, I'm up on the elk. Bam.
Bam, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Anything else from you? Just your movement.
That would probably hurt the elk, huh? By thunder waved. Probably not a good idea.
Elk and
it's-
the
depends
machine
on
is
your-
right next to you as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
I just figured that thing was, Just kidding. I'm gonna attack the. Is there like a pillar that's helping support this thing, like a support beam, or anything like that?
Which thing?
The balcony that they're on.
Yeah.
All right, I want to try and attack that with my hand axes,
Make 2
So-
attacks.
chopping through it. Bam, bam. Hey, 222s.
Yeah, you were able to take down this beam, and I'll say with both the elk and you hitting it, that one right there is going to fall, and it'll take 3d6 damage as it falls through the rubble into the ground.
Sweet.
And dies as it hits the ground and gets covered in debris.
And then, how far can I bardic inspiration people from? At this point, it doesn't matter that much.
I
But
think you just have to see them, right?
probably. Yeah. No. Okay. So I'm gonna.
Bonus actioned already because you attacked twice.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I always forget that. All right. That's it. Yep.
All right. It is then Liliana's turn.
Okay, I am going to step back out a little bit and look up at all of the goblins. And is the goblin boss still out here?
He's gone pretty far back at this point. You wouldn't be able to see if he is or not.
Okay. Regardless, I'm going to use a bonus action to have my spiky ball move like 20 feet diagonally up towards that balcony where I last saw him. But then I am also going to look to all the goblins and say, this could have ended in peace. You decided to attack. You can leave with your lives or join your brethren.
Make an intimidation check. With a 19, and we will resolve this now. The goblins all look at each other, and they all begin to scurry away down the bridges and the pathways going further into the settlement that's built within the mountains, out of vision. Unless anybody wants to attack them, because technically I think the fire spirit's within range of a reaction if he wants. Reaction.
No.
Burn this fucker down.
Yeah, the goblins begin to scatter, and it appears that you have won this fight. But we have one more fight to resolve. Back in the cave. It is Night Hunter's turn.
I'm gonna do what I do best. I'm gonna shoot
Shoot it up.
it twice.
Alright, I keep clicking on its lure.
For a 19
19 hits.
and a 27.
27 hits. Oh, 16, 24 damage?
24 damage
How
altogether.
do you kill this thing?
Oh wow.
She kind of aims for the light that's dangling, and drops to a knee to get a good angle on it, and she shoots the light into the fish thing's mouth.
Yeah, you shoot the lure, and as you do, it kind of splits open, and this light begins to eke out of it and seep away, and the arrow continues going into the mouth and out the back of its head, and it falls and smashes its head on the side of the water and is dead. And with that, just a quick little wrap up here. In the cave, as the thing is dead on the shoreline, you're all regaining yourselves. Orlin, you see a little spirit begin to form next to you. And you see the form of Ivan in a ghostly form. Orlin, you and your friends saved me from that thing. It was holding me captive. I couldn't get away.
How did this happen?
Well, like it made me tell you, I came to look for you, and I came in here, and it trapped me inside of that thing on its head, and then it used me to try and get things to come to the water.
I'm gonna kneel down to get on his level, and I'm going to attempt to give him a hug, which probably I don't know how that works, but
Yeah, he'd allow himself to be corporeal enough for you to hug him, and he hugs you back at the same time. I'm glad you're safe. I didn't know if you made it through the monsters attacking the town or not.
I did. I'm sorry, Ivan. Do you know what happened to you?
The monsters got me. That's what I remember. They were chasing me, and I tried to hide, but I couldn't get away. But I heard that you had warned the town. You made it so more didn't die.
No. It was my fault.
You sent the monsters?
I helped the woman who sent them there. I am no hero. But I'm trying to do good now. I'm sorry.
Well, you've already done good by letting me free. Now I can move on. I know you're good, Orlin.
He's just gonna kind of mess up his hair. Please be at peace.
I will, thank you. As you are about to lift your hand away, he starts to fade away and moves on.
Miss Orlin's eyes well up a little bit. And he just kind of takes in a breath, stands back up, tries to act like nothing happened.
As we see Orlin trying to regain himself in front of the group that he led into this cave, we also see Six looking up at what he believes to be a sibling of his, standing, well, not standing, but being hung up by ropes in front of him, glimmering in the torchlights, and that's where we'll end our session. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a long one, I know.
Yeah, that was long.
Thank you for hanging out with us this long, and thank you for my players for holding on this long. I'm going to do a quick outro so we can get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to follow all the social medias. Go on YouTube and Patreon. We got things coming that are exclusive over there, and we'll see you all next time. Let's keep making stories, everybody. Hey.
Hey, we got him to say it.
Hey.